I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Blimey, so many buttons to press. Unbelievable. Hello, good evening, and welcome to you all. If it's your first time here, I know that the barman gave a shout out on his channel. Grab yourself a seat, make yourself comfy. It's a nice bunch of people on here. Hope you're all doing well. Wow, what a week. What a week. I hope you're all, as I said, doing well. Here, everything's okay. I've been working at home and I've just had an update and I've been told that now I won't be going back to work at my office until at least 3 weeks after my second jab, and that could be a couple of months away. They're talking about end of June. Incredible. Just in case you're not aware of it, later on tonight, I think at about 1 a.m. UK time, EIE Network have got a special stream with regard to MC Toon and what has happened to him. I have it on good authority, everything has worked out for the good, but he's been in a position with YouTube. YouTube are playing silly idiots with people. We know that what's his name, Irish Demons had problems because he did a debunk video or a response video rather to I won't name because I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I know, but I won't say. Someone had done a video and told him and other creators to go kill themselves. So he did a response video, and his response video got him demonetized. But the original video telling him to go kill himself is still up. Something a little similar has happened to MC Toon, but as I said, everything, as far as I'm aware, has worked out for the good. But I'll leave that to MC Toon and the stream on EIE later on to tell you all about it. YouTube are being very eager to strike or demonetize creators who are debunking rubbish because they're talking about the rubbish, whether that's medicines that get stuck in your arm and people not believing that they work or that they're or some conspiracy. So someone like myself, MC Toon, Irish Demon or whoever does a response video, and because we're talking about a touchy subject, it affects us. That's wrong. That is wrong. So I think perhaps Colon, if you're around, I've got a feeling Irish Demon may have a new channel. I'm not 100% sure on that. So if someone could chuck a link to that into the chat, that would be good. Now I'm keeping an eye out because tonight, hopefully, we'll have Jazla111. I'd put some comment on one of his videos. He responded, and I asked him if he wanted to debate. This was just yesterday. And he said, can't do today, I can do tomorrow, which is spot on because I was planning to do this stream tonight. So he said yes. So it's going to be a case of waiting to see if he turns up. I hope he does. I've got no reason to think he will or won't. We'll see. I do have someone else who I've not seen for a little while, has popped into the live waiting room. So I'll probably bring him on shortly, waiting for Jazla111. And if Irish Demon Reloaded is the channel. Thank you very much, Bob Nodell's Gyroscope. Thanks, Bob. He's a good chap, is Bob, isn't he? Excellent. Everyone's thankful to Bob. I don't know if you saw... maybe I can. I know I can show you. Let's see if this works. With the Arnie cam, you can see I have, maybe just about see, a second screen set up here. Yay, second screen. And that's got all my OBS on. I did a community post about it with a photo of the setup. Because I'm working at home, they've given me, I can talk to that one now, can't I? Because I'm working at home, they've given me a laptop and a second screen to work with, and I suddenly thought, because a number of times I thought about having a second screen, but due to my setup and the fact that it also runs a projector and goes to an AV receiver, I thought, I'm not sure if it will work, and I'm not sure if the PC will take it, yada, yada, yada. And I suddenly thought, why don't I just try with that monitor? About 20 minutes faffing around, because it had to use a DP cable instead of an HDMI. 20 minutes faffing around, got it working. So I've got my OBS all over there, nicely separated out. I've got tons more space. I can spread out a bit. There would even be room for Mrs. Sensible. Only just. So if it works well tonight, I shall be ordering one later on. I know this monitor works. It's a great little monitor. It's just a Dell monitor. It's nothing fancy, nothing expensive, but it's got a bunch of USB ports, so I can plug in other stuff there. It's great, really. So at the end of this stream, if it's been successful working with that, I'll just be placing another order. Nice one. In other news, I'm sure... Sorry, I just see Microraptor's post. FTFE used evidence from Bob the Science Guy in his latest debate. Thanks, better Bob. Oh, I think all Bobs are created equal in God's eye. This Dear Moon thing. All very exciting. For those who don't know, I have applied. For me, the application process worked very well. Other people had issues, and they actually extended the application period by about a day or so. That's closed now. Sad thing is, Mini Miss Sensible, she had submitted originally as well, and went to apply, but due to all her university, she's back home right now, all her university work, she couldn't get round to it. She finally completed the application, was 1 hour late. She was my backup plan. If I couldn't go and they selected her, we'd have been doing videos about her. I'd have been asking you guys for support for her, but it hasn't happened. Anyway, I had a comment. Let me just open this another window up. I had a comment because on where are we? YouTube. On my community page a couple of days ago, I'd put a posting about this, and I had lots of... it was about the fact that someone very, very kindly offered me quite a substantial sum of money in support. Absolutely incredible, for any kit or clothing or whatever else I might need. It was an astonishing offer. I emailed back expressing my thanks, obviously, but saying no thank you at this time because there's no costs involved. It's just a case of applying at this point. Later on, there's other things will be involved, and maybe I want to purchase some equipment or something, or there may be something, at which point I may well ask for support. But right now I said thank you very much, appreciate it, but no thank you. And I posted a community post about it and let everyone else know as well, because I didn't want anyone to be making contributions to something that at this time doesn't require any sort of support or contribution. Anyway, sorry, it's getting this round and about a bit, but let me just go to this message I noticed today from a user called The Souls of the Children Biden Touched. So, what did he have to say? He said, "Laugh my arse off. You think you'll be picked for the Dear Moon mission? Laugh my arse off. You're a microscopic YouTube channel. My daughter watches some little girl who has over 70 million followers. You have what? Get over yourself. What kind of ego do you think you have?" Very nice. So I made a reply. And I also decided, hey, I'll use that and I'll post that. I'll post it on Twitter just so that some other people can see, share the love. And I had a really nice response, a couple actually, I wanted to read out. One's from someone called Paul J. Ford. I'm not sure if he watches the channel or if he's just someone who is following me on Twitter. But either way, thank you, Paul. And he said, "Resorting to a pathetic ad hominem response shows clearly how desperate he is. You've got my vote, Mr. S. Keep reaching for those stars. You may get there someday. Absolutely wonderful. And there was another one from Limey Play. Thank you, Limey Play, saying, because what they're really looking for in possible candidates is their amount of YouTube subscribers. What a moron. Why are some people so full of hate? Don't worry, matey, you have my vote. Not that it matters. You still rock for trying to be part of something so amazing. Thank you, Limey, and thank you, Paul. Those messages really pep me up some. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I am a realist. Last I heard, there were somewhat over 100,000 applications. So all things being equal, that gives you a 1 in 100,000 plus chance, which isn't a lot. And of course, there may have been a lot more, and there's going to be people of all sorts of levels, abilities, things that they may or may not be looking for, and so on. I am a realist, but I do know if you don't go for it, you're not going to win it. And as I said, it's just great to be part of it. How sad that someone could, the best thing that they can do, the best thing they can say is just something childishly mean. What a sad little life. So, user the souls of the children. Pathetic. Pathetic. Right. I have to go back into space. So I can get back to Red Dwarf. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tusk. Yeah, sometimes it's best to let the commenters take on the trolls. Yeah, it doesn't bother me in itself. It's made me sad. Not for me. You think, oh no, he's right. I don't stand a chance. Not like that. It's made me sad that honestly has. That's the high point in someone's day. Oh, that sounds good. I'll be mean to someone by saying something like that. Sad sack. Sad sack indeed. Yes. Right, let me just have a quick peek. Has Jazla... No, Jazla hasn't turned up just yet, I'm afraid. No. What's this? Sue Mr. Sensible? What? Sue Mr. Sensible already said this a few days ago. What? Said what, David? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm a bit behind with the messages there. I've probably missed quite a lot. Oh, Keeler. Yeah, trolls, eh? I've had a lot. I don't know if anyone noticed in the past couple of videos, I had absolutely masses of spam messages from Liam. Anyone who doesn't know Liam, you'd recognise his name. He cut and pastes like a good un, and he talks about cringe comedy. What is it? Fantasy cultists on your spinning pear-shaped globe, whizzing at 1,000,000 miles. And it's always the same crap. He does it all over. If you want to have a look at him, go to Nathan Oakley's channel. Don't watch his video. Have a look at his comments, and it will be absolutely trashed with that. Now, I'd quite like to go into Nathan's comments to talk or argue with people, but to be honest, this Liam has made it impossible because all the comments are just drowned out with his crap. So, it's not a case of him having an alternative view or anything like that. It's just pure spam. So I've been blocking his sock accounts. I think I've blocked about 8 of them so far. So if you see any of that crap, mods, please feel free to get rid of it or let me know. But I am blocking his accounts. I've not seen any new ones today, but absolutely masses of it. Another point, this waste of time. What are these people doing with their life if that's the best that they can do? Actually, let me just... I must remember to switch on my camera at that end. Yeah, quite sad, really. Quite sad. So have we got... No, he's still not there. He's still not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on this guest who I've not seen for a little while, and we'll have a chat, shoot the breeze. And if Jazla doesn't turn up after a while, we'll give him a fair chance. Hey, life can get in the way. After all, I thought I was going to be 5 minutes late. But of course, I used my flux capacitor and got here bang on time. Why doesn't he? So I'll bring this. We'll have a chat for a while. If Jazla doesn't turn up, we're going to have a look at his video anyway, because I do understand what Jazla is saying, and he's wrong. Big time wrong, as lots of people have predicted. But it would be nice and fair for Jazla to come on to tell us about what his belief or evidence is. We were going to have a look at his video. We could talk about it, and then I would show him exactly why he's wrong. Yeah. So I've got too many windows open here again. I need 3 screens now, or more. So anyway, I haven't actually said good evening. I can see already it's Bob Nadell's Gyroscope, David Oliver, Checkout Guy, Cyrus Pearlfish, Crafty Keeler, but Second Best Bob. Sorry, I'm skipping over, so if I miss you, I'm sorry. Christopher Bell, Watto UK, Mass Debater, Adam L, good evening, Turtle Moves, and many other names. Oh, Hypervirtualist, hello. They're not seen you around for a while. Yeah, lots of people. Well, we're up to 132 already. I genuinely hope that Jazla turns up. I've been asking around for flat earthers to have a chat or a debate, and the silence is rather deafening. So actually, as an aside, I will ask you, people, a couple of things. One, can you please, if you get a chance, and you're someone who uses Facebook or Twitter, twit or face this channel out, shill it out to people to try and get more people coming to view, like, subscribe, and so on. But also, if you come across flat earthers, or if you deal with flat earthers on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you get into a discussion or whatever, please point them my way, invite them, see if they want to come on. You know that I won't just talk over them, mute them and boot them and do a general Mr. Oakley on them. I'll be fair, let them have their say. Yeah, I'm going to try and show evidence to show what I'm wrong. Yes, I'm going to tell them that they don't understand, if they don't understand, and so on. But I'll be fair about it. If I was to compare how I treat people, or would like to treat people, to other creators, I'm not knocking anyone else, but I'm very much of the MC Toon, what's the word? Sort of, style, should we say. MC's obviously got very, very good technical abilities, but his style of dealing with people, nicely, politely, but still pointing out how they're wrong. But yeah, please let people you know on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagranny, or whatever the hell it is, all those other things, those many social media things that I don't even know what they are. Okay, right, enough of this gay banter. So let's bring on this guest. Let's see if he's around or if he's playing Minecraft or something. Hello, good evening. Are you there? Oh, I must switch on your sound. Hello, good evening. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, you are. And I would like to say a big hello to you. You've not been on the channel for a long time, Mr. Clapperjack, just in case people don't recognise your voice. How are you, Jack?
I'm good, relatively speaking.
Yeah? What can you tell us?
Ooh, it's been a lifetime since the last time we spoke.
It has been a long time, hasn't it? A very long time. I can't say exactly when. Me and Jack first sort of hooked up together when Jack asked me to do a bit of filming for a video. It was an anti 5G one, wasn't it?
Yeah. What was his name? I can't quite recall.
No.
That's how obscure he was.
Yeah. Do we care?
No.
I think
no,
people know. I think his surname was Iron or some other metal like that, wasn't it?
It rings a bell.
Yeah.
It rings a bell.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Derry Francis. He went by Derry Francis.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was actually getting confused. I thought it was Steel. There we go. But you're right. It was Derry Francis. Yes, because he was around.
His real name.
He was around churning out crap for a little while, wasn't he? And then I think the long arm of the law might have caught up with him.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Slapped him around the head real nice. Still not posting videos still after we slapped him around a bit.
No, you slapped him around. I just gave you a bit of a hand. It was an excellent video. And if anyone hasn't, please check out Clapperjack's channel. Perhaps one of the mods can chuck a link to it in the side chat. Hello. I'll tell you who we've got in chat. We've got Mohammed Shafiq. I don't know if you've come across him, Jack.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Mo's done tons and tons about these anti 5G nuts. Some excellent stuff,
Mo. His specialty.
Yes, yes. So that's where you go to if you want to see some of that. Um, oh, what's this? Oh, Crafty Keeler says she's having Mr. Clapperjack. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yes,
on
we have it planned.
Eye on Society. I misunderstood you there, Keeler. Sorry about that. Oh, getting naughty already. There we go. Yeah, so Eye on Society. So what are you doing on there then, Jack?
Well, right now I'm working on a very, very special video that's quite dear to me. I've been trying to I've been aiming to make it earlier, like way, way earlier. It's a Jeranism video,
Okay.
and I'm making sure that
Interesting.
I'm trying to make sure that this video is as best as it can be. What I'm trying to do here is jump back in time to 2017 and sort of digest and condense two of his 3-hour long live streams. I'm trying to do the impossible here,
Yeah.
and it's kind of killing me.
Yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? I spoke to one creator who basically says, because I mean, there's times when you get loads and loads and loads of rubbish either sent to you or you just come across. And one quick way of whittling it down is to sort of say, oh, that's longer than 20 minutes, forget that. But so many of them, I don't know if they're doing it deliberately to try and avoid debunks or if they think it earns more money, but they're doing sort of 2, 3, 4, 5 hour streams or whatever and trying to get those little nuggets of derp from a 5 hour stream is not much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Especially Jeranism. He, in those, the streams that I'm trying to pick apart are the ISS videos. Back in the day, he would wake up at 5 a.m. and he would go through almost the entirety of the spacewalk, and he would leave so many golden nuggets throughout. And I genuinely, that's the first time that I came in contact with flat Earth, and I looked at this and I was like, wow, this man, I need to do something about this man because this is comedy gold.
Yeah. Well, I saw a really interesting one of his. Interesting. When I don't know if you've seen it, there's a good chance you have, where he filmed the transit of the ISS across the moon. Did you see that one?
Is it a recent one? Because I believe he did it only once. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, he's done the sun and transit of the moon, and it was good. It was good in that he did it properly. He found out from some website where the path would be, where you could witness the transit. So he travelled there. He had his camera set up. I can't remember what camera he had. It was all set up and all timed, and he caught a great shot of the ISS transiting the moon, and you could see the shape of it. And he was rather disappointed, and basically then said, "But it's got to be something else."
Exactly. It's interesting. That's what kind of tips me off, because Jaren is not like, I do not believe that he's an idiot. I do not believe that he is being earnest with this whole flat Earth stuff. But I do think he believes it to a degree.
What, the flat Earth, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
well, I mean,
because
he's
he
certainly
has
not an
the
idiot.
know-how.
He's certainly not an idiot, and he had the capability to get that filming, and it was good filming. So credit to him for that. Absolutely. I mean, I did a debunk video on that because I showed shots of the ISS in various stages of construction, so you could see how it had changed over the years, including one shot from the ground showing the space shuttle docked to it. So it's definitely a man-made and a manned item up there.
Vehicle.
Hello, Gary Widebenger. Good evening to you. So he got all the evidence. He did everything right, and it didn't suit his bias, so he just ignored it.
Narrative.
Yeah.
He does a lot of willful ignoring. Like, he would come in contact with something that would just be like, this is it. You should acknowledge it and just stop. But he just kind of like the Mr. Agent Smith in the Matrix. He just dodges it and that's it.
So I mean, I could honestly imagine that if I believed the Earth was flat, or actually this way round, if I suddenly did it, let's say I sent my Mage balloon up, and goodness, that really is flat, I'd be thinking, my goodness, I was wrong, or it looks like I was wrong. I need to check that further, or revise my position. I don't want to look like an idiot because it is, But no, if it doesn't suit what they want, they'll forget it. Make up some rubbish.
They never acknowledge. They never acknowledge being wrong. That's the most interesting part. They just deny.
Which
Because that's
is
the
probably
only
just
way
as well.
a
They
flat earther
spend
can
their
go
whole
on.
time acknowledging and acknowledging they're wrong. Have you ever come across a flat earther who's right? Actually, I'll step back. One, and I'm going to give him credit again. Brian's Logic, who did a debunk attempt on Mage, and he looked at the temperatures I'd recorded and checked out, and found out that it was reading too high. And I acknowledged that. I acknowledged he was correct. Kudos to Brian's Logic for that. 10 out of 10. But minus several million, Brian, for everything else. But yeah, so he's the only flat earther I've come across who's been right about something, I think. So
they can be right about other things, but I don't. And I've been thinking about what they've been saying, what I've heard for quite a while. The basic things, like the government's lying to you, they're spying on you, yada yada yada. That kind of stuff. So a lot of the times, sometimes they're right about that.
Well, the thing is, it's like that business of I'm being careful because I'm not particularly doing a stream about this sort of thing, like the mobile phone signals and the medicinals that are being pumped into people's arms. I'm not afraid of using the word, but I'm not going to worry about it on this stream. This business about they're putting tracking devices in. Tracking device. It's got GPS.
Yeah.
I mean, one bit of software on there broadcasts your GPS position anyway. Mobile phones work by they're cellular, hence they're cellular phones. And each it needs to know exactly where you are as to which cell to hand you over to. That can be triangulated to within.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that if you're in a place where there's lots of mass, like in a city or whatever, you can be triangulated to within a couple of meters. Out in the countryside, it's nowhere near as good, but that's possible, and you're all carrying one in your pocket, and it's absolutely fine.
That's exactly kind of what my government tried to do.
What's that? To track people. Look, I appreciate that's something like that might be difficult for you to talk about. Okay.
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I don't want you in any trouble.
No.
Okay. Yes.
We are in a safe space.
Good. I'm glad. No. I was going to make a joke, but it's not a joking matter. I know it's not really. Someone's just popped that in. I've just sent you a DM asking if that's Jazla who's popped in. I'm not sure because, of course, he may be under a different name on Discord. So please let me know if it is or isn't. I hope it is. By the way, Jack, just a quick question. Can you, on the Discord, can you see the stream on the Discord? Okay.
It's a little bit watered down, but yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it's come through. Okay, all right.
And it's actually a little bit more up to date than the YouTube.
Yeah, it will be because that's pumped straight from my machine to Discord rather than going via YouTube.
Yep.
I mean, I've done that a couple of times. That seems to work fine. I had I was on a stream with Planner Walk the other day, and I've had an issue that if I was playing a video, I could also pop that into Discord, but the sound wouldn't come through. And yet Planner had done it on his stream. So big thanks to Planner. I had a 10-minute chat with him this morning, and he sorted me out on that. So if we're doing the debunk of Jazla's video, I'll play it, and you should be able to see it there, and you should
hopefully
be able to hear the sound as well.
Neato.
Yeah, hope so. Of course, it could.
So he didn't show up.
Who? Jazla?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't shown up yet. I want to be fair to him. He hasn't shown up yet. He may be late. I've not heard from Colon as to whether that person is them or not. In the waiting room, the person between colon and the snark. If you are Jazla, please just send me a DM just so I know it's you. I've had a super chat. Let's read it out from Mr. Second Best Bob. Thanks, Bob. Super chat for £5. They're very nice shiny pounds. Thank you, Bob. I don't think anyone really believes the Earth is flat. Surely. I think some do. I think there's an awful lot who are just in it for the money, maybe for the fun, just wind people up, be silly. Because there's that whole conspiracy about birds are fake. Have you come across that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it's either Claudia Elbers or that other woman that looks like her and also kind of talks like her. Gina something.
Colwell or something?
Yeah, I can't remember her second one.
Yes, I know.
No, it is Gina. It is Gina.
Yeah.
It's not Claudia Elbers.
No, Claudia Elbers, she does all the stuff about Planet X, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Although she did one about spiders and all these webs that are falling from space and are extra strong spider webs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I actually think she's ill.
The recent one that Gina is doing is, we might be talking about the same that as I'm trying to clarify. The plasma webs, is that the one that you're referring?
No, that's a different one, but I have seen that. I saw there's a video taken from CCTV camera across a car park at night, and you could see these plasma webs. And of course, it happened to be raining, and lo and behold, every time there are drops of rain on the lenses, just distorting the streetlights and that. And what made me laugh is there was it was late at night, but there's one or two people walking across the car park. They didn't seem to notice all these plasma webs hanging about. Oh, dear.
But Mr. S, it's the camera that sees the plasma webs.
Oh,
we silly little humans can't.
Well, obviously not. I'm glad she's here to tell us these things. They also go on about the black sun. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I know a lot about her because Logic. I watch a lot of Logic, and he's on her and Claudia Elbers at the same time, kind of back and forth.
Yeah, Claudia Elbers, the Planet X stuff. So I'm going to get muddled up. Hold on, we got two. We got Claudia Elbers, and who was the other one we just mentioned? Gina. Yeah, Claudia Elbers is the PhD, and apparently she was a PhD. I actually think that she had some sort of problem. I think there's a mental health thing there, to be honest.
It could be.
I'm pretty sure. It's
actually
not, yeah, go on.
It's like what this whole thing that's happening to me taught me, that you can actually. It's really easy to lose your mind. It's not that hard.
Yes.
There was a point where I had to catch myself and stop because it could have ended really badly.
Yeah. So I have steered clear of her because I mean, a long time ago, one of the earlier vids I did was this young girl, I don't know, maybe early 20s, was sure that the moon was actually a projection from behind, and she did this sort of paper diagram showing a projector behind it with a curved screen and that. And I was doing this video, this is all very funny, and then I started to feel uncomfortable and thought, no, I think she's actually just ill. And the more I looked at it, and so I basically finished the video there. It was very nice and gentle, and I didn't share a link to her channel or name her channel. So it's very difficult.
Sometimes it's complicated when you can trying to discern whether a person is legitimately in that kind of space.
Yes,
and you shouldn't really do too hard. And when a person is doing it intentionally, he's aware that he's a total dipshit.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's people like, some of the big flat earthers who we know are just outright lying. And I think they deserve to be ripped to pieces as best as possible every single time.
No sympathy.
Absolutely right. No sympathy at all. But I come across someone like that who I genuinely think it's an illness thing. Whereas, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, the only people that would know about it is the people on the bus or on the street corner that they happen to hassle. Now they've got a megaphone to shout it to the world. And that's very sad.
Oh yeah.
Not sad that they're able to use something like YouTube, but it's sad that that they're...
There's nobody to help.
Well, yes, exactly. And so the last thing I'd want to be is someone giving them a kicking.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Still no Jazla. What a shame. I hope he turns up. Should we give him another
TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok, Jazla, TikTok. I mean, it's 9:35 here. We'll give it another 10 minutes. And then...
Is he American or
I don't
where is
know.
he from?
I
What's
don't
the
know.
time zone? Oh, no.
What I do know is I did do one of his videos a long time ago. Basically, he is someone who can't 3D and cannot scale at all.
Oh, God.
So that'll be a treat. You'll be able to enjoy this one because he did say he'd like to talk about his latest video. So we will have a look at that. He's got another video which perhaps explains it more. Now, if he was here, I would ask him, are you okay if we play your other video? But since he's not, I won't. I'll just explain more about it. But since he did say that we'd be going through his latest video, we'll do that on the stream because we're critiquing it, so that's okay. And apparently he's from New Zealand. Thanks, Tusk.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Southern Hemisphere flat earther.
So that makes it, let's see.
Tom Mole says he thinks he's Aussie.
It could be in the same. That would make... Oh, I'm so bad at time zones. Ugh.
My corruptor, brave Sir Jazla ran away. Brave, 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 brave Sir Jazla. Bravely turned his tail and fled. I mean, it was a last minute thing. It was only today that he sort of accepted, and I said, okay, good. Yes, I'll have to edit the title. Mr. Sensible Live without Jazla111. I like that. I will give him a link to the channel. At least he said, hey, I'm up for it. And it's not that he did that and when I responded he ignored me. He replied. So I'll take him at face value.
Something.
I'll take him at face value. I don't want to accuse him of anything else because you and I don't know what else might have gone on in his life.
Yeah. It's always important to consider that first rather than just jumping onto, oh, you're a flat earther, shut up.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say he ran away because,
it could be anything.
I mean, if he turns up and I say you're wrong because so and so and he goes, then yeah, I'm going to say he ran away. It'd be a no-show. I mean, a no-show is fair enough. So I wouldn't hold that against him. Maybe he'd organise it again for another time with a bit more advance warning and so on. Oh,
that sounds very sensible.
Oh, thank you, Jack. I did try. I'm not going to say who, but I had an email from somebody with regard to me hosting a debate or a chat with a flat earther. I have replied. I don't know if you're out there watching or watching it on a replay. But I have replied. Yep, I'm totally up for that. And if anyone else knows someone who wants a debate, or you want a debate with someone, and you can arrange that, I'm happy to host. Happy to host and mod it. But be warned, I would make meticulous efforts to be fair. I'd jump on you as much as them if it was over talking and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, you think you're
getting into the debate business?
Sorry?
Nah. Jaren wouldn't budge. No. He's too chicken.
We know a few of those, don't we? I got a chicken called Nathan. Did you know that?
Really?
He's been on stream when I was with Conspiracy Cats once. Nathan made an appearance, and then he crapped on my desk. But then that's about all Nathan ever does anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
All he ever does.
That's kind of his thing.
See, we've got another super chat. Let's just call that up. Still have to do this refreshing. That's the one thing it doesn't work on Streamlabs for me, is it doesn't pick up the super chats, but I'm not going to muck around with that. From Tusk, another 5 shiny pounds. Thank you very much, Tusk. When Sensible raised his baldy head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. I haven't fled. I didn't.
Mr. S,
Yes, yes.
we seem to have our lovely guests in the chat. At least Shutter Stone 2?
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh, Jazla
Somebody
one one
says,
one is here. Ah,
yeah.
Jazla. Sorry, I didn't see that. Jazla, there should be a Discord link. Yes, there's a Discord link in the description. If you jump onto the Discord, under the voice channels, you'll see a live waiting room. When you're in there, Colin will just make sure you're working with your mic and headphones, and then I'll drag you onto the live. That's perfect timing. I'm glad I didn't badmouth you. So there we go. It was just a delay. That's cool. Yeah, Mr. X, Mr. Y, it's Jazla's first time on the stream. He wouldn't necessarily know to come on the Discord, and into the live waiting room. So absolutely not going to hold that against him at all. Oh, that's good. I'm glad he's turned up, Jack.
Yeah. At least he kept his word.
Yeah, absolutely. Kept his word. So credit for that, Jazla. Thank you. And it means that he can give his full explanation of, about his video, what evidence he thinks it's, what it's showing, and so on. That's good. So hopefully he's on his way in.
Mr. S, do you want me to step down?
Well, let's
into
wait
the shadows.
Let's wait. Let's give him a chance to come in. And Jazla,
Because
just so you're aware, when you get on and you come on, it'll just be me and you, because Jack will jump back into the live waiting room. Okay, so you don't think you're going to be ganged up on or anything like that. Okay, pal?
No. It's definitely going to be too crowded. I'll just sit back and have a
cold beer.
Have a look. Mm-hmm.
Right, there's another super chat. So while we're waiting for Jazla to come in, hopefully he can get in. Okay.
That's my cold beer.
Oh, nice. I could have already picked up. Oh, that's nice. I just mentioned about someone emailing me. He's there in the chat, I don't know, Delcos Man. Super chat is $5 US. Thank you, Delcos. Saying, I'm watching. Yeah, I don't know the time still, but I'll try and give a rough time day soon. Yeah, excellent. I work a random shift pattern, 6 on, 4 off. Some of them are early, some are late, some are nights, and so on. So it's a case of give me a rough time period, and I'll give you a whole bunch of dates around that time, and then we can pick one, and I'll happily host it. And as I was just saying, if I'm modding, I will do my very best to be absolutely scrupulously fair, which means I come down on you as hard as I would on your opponent. Okay, but then that's how it should be. Hopefully both sides play fair. I'm sure you will, but hopefully both sides play fair, and you can have a good chat or debate. And I'll keep out of it, other than looking after my channel if it was needed. But thank you very much for the super chat, Delcos, and good luck. Fingers crossed you get that organised. So where are we with Jazla? Is it,
Still.
Oh,
nothing.
Jazla does not have
I
Discord.
have a question.
Okay.
You could try do OBS Ninja with him. I think it's just a link.
I have used that before. I had some fun and games with that. Jazla111. I can set up a whereby link, a whereby room. I just need to do a little bit, although I don't know if I get your video into here. How can we do this? So if you go to the Discord link, if you click on that link, I think it will install Discord. Has anyone else ever sort of gone onto Discord without having Discord? I don't know.
There's Discord web, I believe, and you just need to register there.
So
I can double check.
Jazla, have you tried the Discord link? I don't know quite what that will do. I mean, Discord. Actually, I'm surprised that you don't have Discord, but because
you can open Discord in the browser.
Oh right, well there you go. So just try that. Just try the link. See if it'll get you in. Fingers crossed.
You just let me see. Clapperjack. It's actually. Yeah, I'm not a robot. I'm pretty sure I'm not a robot. Oh, it doesn't even ask you to like properly register, I think. Let's see.
Okay. Well, Jazla,
No.
Discord is quite straightforward in this, in that link. Excuse me.
Oh,
Crafty
no.
Keeler super chat 2 years. Got to run. Happy International Atheist Day, folks. Bless you, Kate. Oh, you know what I mean, Crafty. You have a good one. Thank you very much for the super chat. Jazla111, I have line. Oh right, colon's just saying you do just have to click the link. So if you try clicking that link, that should I think get you onto my server. You can then just jump into the live waiting room, which is under voice channels on the left. We'll give you every chance to try and get this sorted out, pal. Because
Yeah, it doesn't really take that long.
Yeah, give it a crack. Give it a crack.
Plus, like, if you don't have Discord still, like, what are you doing with your life? Discord is awesome.
Yeah, actually, I would recommend Discord because I'm sure that from the Flat Earth side, anyway, it's just as useful to you to get on Flat Earth servers and to hook up with other Flat Earthers.
Yeah, because there's a 24/7 Flat Earth something Discord server,
Yeah,
I believe.
well, but I'm sure there's lots of
This
others,
is-
and I'm sure that lots of the channels use Discord,
oh,
just like we do. So it would be of use to you, I'm sure, anyway. And it's not dodgy software; it's free.
oh yeah, I'm actually tapped into the 24/7 Flat Earth server. So if he wants, I can actually give him like the link to it too. So
Oh, come
yeah,
on! I hope you're still trying to get in.
not that it would be too healthy to, but just being nice.
Well, I mean, it would be a shame. I mean, he's obviously turned up.
Oh, he's in.
He's in.
He's in.
Oh, smashing!
I'm gonna
Brilliant.
jump back to the waiting room.
Okay, all right. If you jump back in the waiting room in a sec, I'll drop you in there, Jack. If you can just hook up with Jazla, because I'm not sure 100% if Colon's there or not. Just make sure that
All right.
he's got his headphones on, mic,
Yeah, if the sound's all right.
and turns the stream volume off because he can watch it in this room. Okay, so I'll
All
then
right.
give you a couple of minutes there. Maybe you can DM me, and we'll pull him in a couple of minutes' time. So fingers crossed, we're
All
going to
right.
have Jazla on. Thank you very much, Jack, and depending how it goes, might speak to you again a bit later as well. All right.
See you around.
Okay, take care. Well, he's a very nice man, isn't he? That's really good to speak to Clapperjack. Nice guy. Great video editing skills. As I said, he did the one. Well, I thought it was about Mark Steele, but it was Derry Francis. I do recall now, who's one of these people smashing up 5G installations and dodgy things like that. And he'd asked me to just supply a couple of little clips of film, which I did quite happily. And he pulled it together into an excellent video with some fantastic research. He identified where the 5G tower was and the fact that there was a police station just around the corner from it. Brilliant stuff. And yeah, so thoroughly recommend Clapperjack's channel. Someone put the link in there earlier on, I did see. Maybe someone can drop that in again because it's worth a look. And for whatever reason, I believe Jack hasn't done that much recently, but he's looking to get started. As he's saying, he's going to do some stuff about Jeranism, which is interesting. Well, I'm glad we got. Oh, hold on, I've got a DM. Yeah, Colon, I've got your DM. Can you just DM me again if I don't hear from Jack, just to let me know that Jazla's all good to go? Yes, that would be good. I'm genuinely pleased that he came here. As Jack said, he kept his word. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this, and I'm glad that we haven't done any of his video yet, because then he can introduce himself, give us a bit of background. We'll play his video. It's only short, and talk about it, and take it from there. Really, it's exciting, isn't it? Gary Wybenga. Hello, Gary. I hope you're having fun tonight. What's all this then? Oh, actually, Gary, while I think of it, this is to you, Gary Wybenga. I have, I don't know your email address or anything, So I had dropped comments and replies to you several times. This business of debating Red's rhetoric and you not wanting to go on Fight's channel. Reds did say to reach out to you about. Look, I'll tell you what, probably best. Can you email me? All right, I'll explain it all off stream. Our conversation will be 100% confidential, even from people like Fighting Reds, okay? But please, if you email me, because I do want to discuss things with you. Yeah, my email address is in the description, mr-sensible@hotmail.com. Okay, so please, Gary, and your email address will go no further either, okay? Because I've desperately been trying to get in touch with you. Right, have I got another? He's ready. He's ready. The man is ready. Excellent. So I'll give you a 20-second warning, Jazla. It won't be long. I'm just going to pull you in just a minute into the live stream, and we'll take it from there. I'm looking forward to this because I've not spoken to Jazla. We only had a couple of comments back and forth. Nothing offensive. So I'm hoping this will be good. Right. Let's try it. Hello, good evening, Jazla. Are you there, sir? Hello, Jazla. I can see you're in there. Hello. Have you got...
Now I can actually hear you.
I can hear you. You're a little muffled. Can you try again? I might have to turn your volume up.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now clear as well.
And I can hear you. Excellent. Listen...
Before it was like you were whispering.
Sorry?
Before it was like you were whispering.
But it's nice and clear now, is it?
Yeah, no, it's clear now. Before I could barely hear you.
Okay. I don't know what that was. Anyway, listen, thank you very, very much for coming, Jazla. I was really pleased when you suggested or accepted coming on for a chat or a debate or whatever. It's not a full-on formal debate, but yeah, I was really genuinely pleased. And I hope you feel welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm here to debate. I think everything is very interesting that I look at. And if you move your telescope within 1 millimeter, it changes what you see in the sky.
Okay, well, listen, before you go into that, Jazza, can I just ask, just for the audience, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what your position is. You know, are you a flat earther? Are you a flat earther with a dome and whatever? Tell us a bit about yourself first. And then then I guess you can tell us about your ideas and we'll have a look at your video and we'll take it from there. How's that?
Yeah, well, my life has basically been around science and experimentation. Since I was 4 years old, I could understand electronics, build devices where you're talking to microphones and concept speakers at 4 years old. My nana built electronics to build 201, 300. So that's how I started with electronics.
So Jazla, your sound is a bit funny. Are you very close to the mic, or?
I'm talking as if like I'm talking into a phone. That's how I have to use this thing, like I'm on a phone.
Right now, that's very clear. That's perfect, as you are that just then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, tell us again.
It's like I've been guided between my life to work out exactly how things work. I understand things. I pull things apart. I've never done like a motor mechanics course. Rip out a turbocharged inject the turbo engine, pull it all apart, put it back together, and have the thing running. I don't need to go and see a mechanic. I've never gone and seen a mechanic. Well, my uncle is a mechanic, which actually explained a few things that I was stuck with. I'm still working with there are many things that.
Right. Your sound is clipping every now and then. Sometimes you sound absolutely perfect, and sometimes it sounds a bit robotic. Okay, so we'll just try and work through it as best as possible. So I might have to ask you to repeat things. It's not because I'm not listening. It's not because I don't believe what you said. It's just because there's some sound issues time to time. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm in Australia. You're probably on the other side, so.
Oh yeah, the other side of the globe, mate.
Well, I wouldn't call it the other side of the globe. We can call it distance.
Okay.
And due to distance, we're distance.
All right. Well, so basically, you are a flat earther, is that correct?
No, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a ball earther. I
Okay.
believe that we live in a simulation like a game of Call of Duty.
So you believe we live in a what?
In like a game like Call of Duty, like what holds up the ground in the game of Call of Duty.
Are you talking about something like living in the Matrix, that sort of thing? It's all an illusion.
That is absolutely correct.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So now we know where you come from. You come from. But the topic you particularly wanted to talk about, or you mentioned talking about tonight, was your latest video. Yes.
I have many different videos, many different topics. What do you want to talk about?
Well,
I mean, I can go to pressure. Show me how a flat balloon pushes a balloon. And then I can show you how a pressurized balloon pushes a balloon.
well, yeah. I mean, you mentioned about your latest video, so that's what I was looking at and thought we were going to be talking about tonight, if that's okay.
Yeah, well, that's fine. How the stars would actually, if you walk under the pole star, it's at 90 degrees. And if I continue and keep walking, the whole star angle changes, the epileptic changes, everything changes if I walk to the opposite side. But if I spin, like apparently in our model, it doesn't happen.
Well, your video is entitled "The Sun Moves Around the Earth." That's the one.
Yeah, well,
Without giving the game away, the one with the string from the ceiling. Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay. Because what I've got it queued up so I can show the video, and can you see the window on the Discord where I am, you are, and there should be
Nah, I still have your live chat going.
on your browser.
Yeah, that's all I see is your live chat with the red screen in the background and the
Yes.
writing down the side,
Yeah.
side.
But you've got some
There's no,
Discord. You've got a Discord window open somewhere, haven't you?
not that I know of. I'll check. I have a Discord, but it's just Mr. Sensible.
Okay, so with that, you can't see me through that Discord.
No, it's
okay.
just basically says Mr. Sensible, sensible stuff, sensible announcements, text channels, general chat,
Oh, right.
video channels.
Yeah. And looking down a bit, can you see live waiting room and Mr. Sensible live?
Okay, yep, live waiting room.
Yeah,
It's got
Mr. Sensible
Clapperjack,
live. So if
Rocket Man, the snake. Okay, down further. I see it.
Mr. Sensible
I
live.
see it now.
If you click on that, you should then see me. You can see me, you,
I
and a still of your video.
See you now. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep, I see it.
All right. So you should see your video there as well. So if you've got the sound switched off on your browser, you should be able to hear.
No, I don't see the video.
You don't see the video. Let me just see. It should be in Mr. Sensible Live. There should be you, me. You're looking in that. Have you got it now? If you double click on Mr. Sensible Live, you should see us.
How do I? I've got too many things running now.
I know. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Because it'd be good for. What I can do, if you can't see it, Jazla, what I can do is if you're happy with it, I mean, it's a short video, I can just let the entire video play. It's only one and a half minutes. You can see it run on the stream. That'll be a bit delayed. And you obviously know what you're saying. So if I let it play, then everyone else can see, and then we can take it from there then, okay?
Yep.
Okay, let's give that a go. So it should be coming across in it should be about a 20-second delay. Right, so this is Jazla's video. The sun moves around the earth. So I'll just let it play and we'll take it from there.
All right, time to prove this once and for all. We have the earth here. Okay, this ball, it is on a piece of string like the guy said in the demonstration. I've got to give him credit for that because that was a good little demonstration.
How do I stop
And we have the pole star at the top. The earth.
No, I've got something. I've got like a split screen. I've got my video playing on one side and your video playing on the other side. So it's basically just two people talking. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, no worries.
lines up every year, all year for thousands of years to that pole star. Same with the southern pole star. It always aligns. It never comes out of alignment. Now, if that line is always a continuous line, how does the ball get to the other side of that line, or how does the Earth get to the other side of the ball without going out of alignment? It can't. It physically cannot. It proves absolute, without a doubt, that the ball has to move to get on the other side of that pole. Not only that, that pole is always a straight line. Doesn't matter where you go around it, it is always a straight line. The problem with it is the sun angle changes off that line. That proves the sun moves. Okay, it spins around the Earth. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Okay, so you're probably just watching the end of it there. Right, so Jazla, would you like to explain a bit further? I mean, I believe I understand what you're saying, but perhaps you'd like to explain what that was, or what your reasoning behind that video was. Hello? Hello, Jazla? Jazla?
I feel like recording this live chat because it's like I'm talking to about 15 different Mr. Sensibles.
Listen, don't worry about that. So if you've got your browser window, just mute your browser, and you should still be able to hear me. Leave the stream running on the browser so you can see it if you wish.
I only have Discord open, and I'm hearing about 15 different recordings.
Oh dear. What, even now?
Yeah, right now.
I don't know what the problem is then. Is it making it impossible to sort of listen and understand me?
I'm going to record it so you can see what I have to put up, what I'm dealing with.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you, Jazla. That's all right. I can't think what the problem might be. I tell you what. Let me pop you back into the live waiting room. Was Colon there when you were in there? Did Colon speak to you? I'm going to pop you back into the live waiting room. Colon, could you just try working with Jazla, see if you can get his sound sorted out, and then we'll bring him back in. Is that okay, Jazla?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm getting like about 15 conversations at once.
Oh dear, I'm not sure what that is, but Colon's a bit of a whiz, so let him have a crack at it, and then we'll bring you back in, okay?
Yeah, see, your voice is actually... I'm still hearing you talking now, even though I'm talking.
I think that you're hearing it back through both Discord and through your browser. I think that's probably all it is.
No, I don't even have YouTube open. I only have Discord open. It has a split screen, and it's like two videos at once.
I don't understand. Okay, listen, let me drop you back in, have a quick chat with Colon, see if he can sort it out, and then he can DM me and I'll bring you back in, all right? Okay. Colon, could you do that, see if you can get things working? I know you are a whiz. Okay, so I don't want to be unfair. Obviously, there are some sound problems, and we've seen Jazla's video. Now, I may be wrong, but I believe what he's saying, and he can correct me. I'm quite open to him correcting me. I believe what he's saying is, if that's your north-south from the sphere of the Earth, and you've got the sun, if it's moving around, if the Earth is moving around, there's going to be different stars basically directly above you. I think that's what he's saying. Okay, and that's what I was working on. Yeah. So I don't know what people thought of the video. You can have a look at his channel, perhaps some. And now Jazla has actually arrived. What I will do afterwards is I will update the description with his channel link. That's only fair. But perhaps someone can drop his channel link into the chat as well, because he's got another video which I think perhaps explains what I think he's talking about a little better or differently, because it's a bit more physical and he's moving things around. And that's a video, I know it sounds funny, but it's called What is a Straight Line? And that may explain his idea a bit better. Having seen that one, I understand what he's saying, or I believe I understand what he's saying in the one we've just shown here tonight. But fingers crossed, because I'd rather have him speak for himself. That's only fair. Let's have a quick look. By the way, this is working out well with the extra screen. So that bodes well. I've already chucked it in my Amazon, I was going to say waste basket. What do you call it? Shopping basket. So at the end of this stream, providing it's all worked out all okay, I'll be pressing the button and ordering one. I see we have got another super chat. Let me just open it up from Flo Rider for €2. Thank you, Flo. Life is crap, but the graphics are awesome. I like it, Flo. Thank you. Thank you. And your idea, Flo, that you dropped me a message about just before the stream, I think it's a great idea. Let's hook up, have a chat about it, and maybe we can organise a stream along those lines sometime. Excuse me, it's getting a bit colder in here. If the aircon starts screaming up. Can you bear it for 5 minutes? We'll give it a couple minutes, see if it shuts up. It usually does. It's because it's on full blast for a minute. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Hopefully we can sort that. Sounds interesting. I won't mention anything else about it in the live stream, because if when it comes to it, it'll be a nice surprise for people, something different on the channel. I see we've got Irish Dublin going here, Nimrod, David Oliver, Tom Mole. Oh, Stephen Huxtable, hello sir, not seen you around for a little while, I don't think. Well, Jazla's still sat in there in the live waiting room. Hopefully Colon is getting him sorted. Thing is, I don't know what would happen if I jumped out of the room to talk to them. I don't know how that affects things, so I don't want to do it mid-stream. Maybe I should do a test sometime. So we've got Gary is still in there. Hope you're having a nice time, Gary. Mr. Sensible, we will bear with you as always. Thank you, Nimrod. Yeah, it's just that when it first kicks on, it goes on full bore to try and pressurise and that. So that's when it's at its squeakiest. With the weather warming up, so it reaches the point where I don't need that for heating. I haven't until now this evening. And I don't need it for cooling like I do in the midsummer. I shall organise the aircon man and try and get it fixed, because it annoys me as much as anyone else. Actually, it probably annoys you more, because I can hear it here, but if I've heard back on a stream or a video where it's done it, I know that the mic really picks it up badly. My deepest apologies. Oh, I've got a message from Colon. Let's see. Okay, should be good. Let's give it a try then. Thank you, Colon. Colon is a steely-eyed missile man. Hello, Jazla. How are you now? Is that better? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. How's that then? Is that better?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's nice and loud.
Good, good. Colon knows his stuff, both with sound with regard to PCs and Discord. I knew he'd sort you out. Okay. Right, so I don't know if you heard, because I know you were busy there with Colon. I was saying that my understanding, please put me right if I'm wrong, is that that video was, the aim of that video was to demonstrate that if you had Earth with a north and south pole directions, when and if it moved around the sun, the pole would be pointing at different stars. It would be offset or something. Is that what you're getting at?
That is correct. It will move out of alignment.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that I understood what you're saying. So you got your point across. Obviously, I don't agree with you, but at least I did understand it right. Because I was just saying as well that you've got a second video, which I've asked people to have a look at some point, called What is a Straight Line? where you're sort of moving a glass and some other objects around to try and demonstrate it.
Yeah, well, that's how you used to find your fishing hole back in the day when you had no GPS. You'd have to line up a landmark like a telephone pole with like a shed on a hill, and then you'd make another line to your 90 degrees and look for another landmark, which is a shed or a pole or something that lines up. So then you know exactly where your fishing spot is. If you move off your fishing spot, guess what happens? Those line markings.
Absolutely. There was a children's book, I forgot what it was. Swallows and Amazons, I think it was. And they lined 2 trees up to have a safe run to their landing site with a boat, something like that. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. There is a bit of a problem that I can see though, Jazla, and that's, well, 2. I know that I made it in a comment in a bit of a cheeky way on one of your videos, but 3D. Nothing is personal, okay? I said that you can't 3D, but having looked at this Sun Moves Around the Earth video, which we've watched tonight, I'd also say scale. I think you have an issue with 3D and scale.
But scale does not determine a straight line.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a few hundred yards. We're not talking about a couple miles. We're talking about the distance to stars.
Yeah, well, if you move your telescope 1 millimeter, it changes.
Yeah, you're not pointing it directly at that star, are you? Yeah, that's actually an interesting point. I can see why you'd question and say, well, why is it different with the Earth? But you're not. You
can line up a telescope precisely 24/7, 2,000 fucking years after years, and it stays exactly the same. If it was to move, like how a boat moves in the water, it would move. You would know you are moving.
But you do know stars do move. There are stars that if you took a photo of a star, a couple of years later took another image of it, a couple of years later took another image, that star has moved. It's what
the point.
Yeah, go on.
The point itself, the actual point, not the star itself. The stars go around that point.
No, I'm not talking about them rotating, like they do each day and night. I'm talking about if you have a pattern of stars, that pattern is changing slowly over time. But there are some.
Okay,
well, I was going to say.
Let's make the analogy of a boat. Okay, the Earth is a boat. Now, if I line up my telescope on the southern pole and on the northern pole, and they align, okay, precisely to the circumference of the telescope, okay, we can zoom right into them. So we're looking at infinity, and if the Earth moved, it moves out of alignment.
You're still putting
the same process as a boat.
So you're pointing at the North Pole star, and you're pointing to a point in the southern polar sky. Okay, so you'd have to be on the equator. Okay, we'll give you that. Quite how you point at both.
No, you don't have to be on the equator. You can be under the pole star. Your telescope is pointing straight up.
Okay.
It is always pointing straight up.
So you can only see one pole at a time. So we pick the North Pole because the South Polar point, there is no star no visible star that's very close to it.
Yeah, well, there's a point in there. That's correct.
There is a point, but I mean, everyone knows you've got Polaris, the North Pole star. At the southern point, it's near Sigma Octantis or Octantis.
That's right. Would you have a point, a pole?
There is a polar point, yes. Yeah, but at the north you've got Polaris, although it's not exactly on the North Polar point. If you look at those circular star trails, it draws little circles, but it's very close. But so if you're if you're sat on the North Pole looking 90 degrees, so you're looking right up, so that Polaris is exactly overhead, yeah?
Yeah.
During the night, as the Earth rotates, it stays exactly overhead, doesn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's just turning round. And so you have no problem with that.
No.
So tomorrow night, if we're talking we're talking about our model with the Earth rotating and orbiting the Sun. Okay, but the next night the Earth will have moved partly around its orbit, 1/365th. Yeah,
It's your model, that is correct.
Yeah. We're just assuming it for the discussion. Okay, so we would have moved 1/365th approximately around the orbit. So are you saying that you don't believe that looking straight up would still point at Polaris because the Earth has moved around the orbit a bit?
Like I said, if you get two telescopes and they line up for 2,000 years, it means that you do not move.
So
it's the same with the boat. You can move a couple of meters off your landmark. If you actually watch what happens, things move.
Right, now, are you... Can you see the stream right now? Somewhere?
No, I don't see any stream. I'm on a telephone at the moment.
Okay. All right, so I'll just talk you through what I'm saying. You know the thing about holding your finger in front of your face with one eye closed, line the finger up with something, then switch eyes, your finger appears to move. Parallax.
Yeah,
that's not a problem. So you're talking about that sort of effect?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. So I can't... It's a shame that you can't see it, but I'm showing on... Sorry?
That's what a telescope does.
Yeah, well, I'm showing on screen... what do you call it? A flicking image between two views showing a star in different positions. It's the same star from two positions, and you can see it move against the background. Parallax, what you're talking about, and it's the same as holding a finger in front of your face and flicking eyes. You're looking at it from two places. One is the Earth, the other is from the New Horizons probe. They took a photo or images of the same star at the same time, and because they're looking at it from slightly different directions, the star appears to move, which is what you're saying, isn't it?
That's correct.
But there's a problem with scale. Okay. First of all, that star, it is a shame you can't see it. Watch the stream back afterwards, perhaps, Jazla, and then I'm always happy for us to come back to this.
Yeah, I know. You're saying that you can move infinity and that direction is still going to be the same star, but it's not.
Well, no. I'm just showing that this star that's on screen, which you can't see right now, is moving slightly. Sorry?
What I'm saying is the Earth can move in the direction of the sun to infinity, and you're saying that the star is still going to be in the same location. That is your model. Everything is it squeezes down to microscopic. That's how everything. Everything's down to a microscopic scale for you to actually prove your design. Do you know that we live on a massive Earth?
Yes, it is massive, but compared to our solar system, Jazla. Compared to our solar system,
everything is measured from the center of that little protractor. That's the dot. Everything is measured from that protractor.
Right.
You move the protractor 10,000 kilometers.
Can I explain why you're wrong, and then I'm happy for you to point out where you disagree with me.
Do you want to just look at the other video, how the sky moves when you walk on the other side of the pole? Well, let's debate that video.
Yeah, but this is all the No, hold on.
Subject.
No, I'm not changing the subject. It's me who wants to stay exactly on this subject. What I'm saying is this is showing the same star looking to be in two different positions. That's because it's photoed from the Earth and from the New Horizons probe. Now that star...
From two different locations.
Two different locations, yeah. Now the thing is, that star is Proxima Centauri. It's 4.25 light years away. It's not just like lining up with a tree or a pole or whatever. It's 4.25 light years away. And when these images were taken, the New Horizons probe was around 4 billion miles away from Earth. Now Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. So if you took 2 points, midwinter and midsummer, so hold on, 6 months apart, so we're entirely on the other side of the sun, 180 degrees round the sun. That's only a distance of 186 million miles, whereas this probe is looking at Proxima Centauri from 4 billion miles away from us. So there's a massive difference in scale.
There's no distance in your model.
What do you mean there's no
Your
distance in
model
the
is
model?
a ball. Your model is a circle, which is a dot. You can shrink that circle to a dot. You can expand it to 40,000 kilometers. There's no distance in your dot.
I'm really not sure what you're saying with that.
Well, a dot doesn't have distance. Every measurement that is taken from this Earth is taken from that dot. It doesn't include distance. Do you not understand that? It's like how I made my drone video over 50 meters. I mapped out a curvature of a flat plane.
Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, the Earth can be measured. It's got a size. It is a distance from the Sun, but all of that pales into insignificance. This star that you haven't seen, but you can see on the replay, the star is 4.25 light years away. Proxima Centauri. Okay. 4.25 light years. Polaris is 434 light years. So this business about holding a finger in front of your face, flicking between the eyes, you've got a baseline of the distance between your two eyes. With that, the moving star image which I've shown, that's a baseline between the two eyes, one eye being Earth, the other eye being New Horizons, was 4 billion miles. And on the nearest star, where it will have the greatest effect, it's just a slight movement. If it had looked at the Polaris at 434 light years away, it wouldn't have registered. But that's a massive distance from Earth. So the fact of Earth moving a straight line distance from one side of the Sun to the other of 186 million miles away is nothing. So go on. I'll tell you what. I was still talking, but I'll now stop and let you respond. Go ahead.
It's not a massive distance with a telescope. A telescope, it forms that line, as I showed you. It lines up with the telescope, and that proves that the Earth does not move. If you don't understand common sense, well, I don't know how to explain it any better.
Well, you do
because that proves, it proves that the Sun has to go around the pole.
So are you saying that the Earth would have to be motionless, whether it rotates or not, but it would have to be motionless with the Sun going round it?
No, it can still spin in your model, but for
rotating.
the orbit of the Earth to go around the Sun, it breaks the line. It cannot happen.
but you see, because I guess because you're saying is if you had that start point, and Polaris is absolutely 90 degrees above you, if you move off, you then would have to look at an angle to Polaris. That's what you're saying, yeah? So if you moved around the Sun at a distance, Polaris would no longer be directly above you. It would be off to one side, yeah?
That's right. It won't line up with the telescope.
You've made a triangle, yeah?
So it won't line up with the telescope.
Yeah, but you've made a triangle. You'd have your start position when it was 90 degrees above you, and at a later point, 3 months later, it would be a few degrees or whatever off of 90. That's what it would have to be. That's what you're saying it would have to be, yeah?
Yes, it will move.
Yeah. The problem is distance. Polaris is 434 light years away. You make a triangle that's got a baseline of 186 million miles, which sounds a hell of a lot. Hold on. I stop for you. If you make a baseline from midsummer's night to midwinter's night, that's 186 million miles apart. But with Polaris 434 light years away, it's basically 90 degrees. You ain't going to see any movement.
Well, let's move from this subject because you don't understand it, and how I understand it. So we'll move to the other subject, which is how the sky moves when you walk to the opposite side of the pole.
Okay, well, that's a new one. I've not seen your video about this, okay? So you're going to have to explain this.
Well, I've made a model, and it shows you can look at sky maps. That's what happens. When you walk to the opposite side of the pole, the stars move.
What sort of distance? What sort of distance are you talking about walking? A few hundred yards or miles and miles? What are you talking about?
I'm talking walking from 30 degrees on this side of the South Pole, okay, in a direct line straight to the South Pole, and
Yep.
then keep walking in a straight line
Yep.
to 30 degrees on the opposite side of the Earth. The stars move. If you don't believe me, we'll just walk to the South Pole and you will see that the stars move from 30 degrees to 90 degrees.
Well, okay, I know you're talking south, but there is no star exactly over the South Pole. But let's assume there is. Or there's a point. There's a point.
Okay,
yeah. So
Yep.
you start with if you're 30 degrees, then obviously that south stellar point of rotation is not directly above you. As you reach the South Pole, it would be 90
I don't
degrees.
care if it's 80 degrees above me.
Yeah. I know. I appreciate that. Yeah. So it's a few degrees off of directly above you. You walk till you cross the pole, at which point it's 90 degrees, 100% exactly above you, and then you carry
That's
on,
right.
and then it's moved out. Yeah. Okay. So what's the problem with that?
The plane of the whole sky changes direction.
Well, I don't quite understand what you're saying. You've moved and
We'll get the video up and
okay.
have a look.
What's that video called?
I'll see if I can find it.
It's okay. Let me. I can pull it back up on the screen. Let me just get the window up. So I'm just going. Oh, I'm going to go back to your channel. Right. I've got. Right, I've got your channel about crossing. Oh, let's pause that. I have to find which video it is. What is the point? If it's stationary,
The middle page, the equatorial mount one. There's a few of them.
Okay, I can see equatorial mount flat Earth and equatorial mount flat Earth part 2.
Yeah, well, that one there will explain it. And if you actually walk to the opposite side, I mean, the plane of the stars change walking from 30 degrees to 90 degrees.
Yeah, but I don't understand there's no problem with that with the globe Earth. In fact, for every, whatever it is, 69 miles from the North Pole you walk, hold on, every 69 miles from the North Pole you walk, Polaris would drop in the sky by 1 degree. Because you're walking around a globe, a ball. What's the problem with that?
The plane would change.
What do you mean the plane?
What do I mean by the plane? The plane of the stars, the line of the stars, how they travel.
They apparently travel in circles around the north and south point of stellar rotation.
They travel across the pole.
The stars never travel across the pole. They travel around it.
In the direction across. Yeah, well, the line is across the pole.
Well, you've walked across the pole. I've called your video up.
So
I want to make a quick video of how
the pole from north to south. The pole from north to south.
What, through the
stars
center of the
travel
Earth?
east to west.
Okay,
that's right. They travel east to west. That's the plane.
You've got a ball. You stick a pole right through the ball without puncturing it. The top we got north. The bottom you got south. Okay, that's fine. As you rotate it, everything around it in your room, your light, your windows, and everything travel.
The pole spins.
Sorry.
The pole spins if you walk north to south.
Well, it's not spinning. You're moving towards it, and then over it, and then past it. It's not
That's
spinning.
correct. So therefore, it is spinning to your perception.
Well, you're travelling around it, but the Earth is still rotating in exactly the same way as it was rotating before you started, and it's exactly the same way as it will continue rotating after you finish.
Like in my diagram, if you walk to the opposite side, look at what happens to the stars. They change direction of the plane. The pole is angled at a different direction. It's angled the opposite direction, so therefore the stars change plane.
Are you talking about the stars changing direction? You know that let's say if you stood on the equator and you look north to Polaris, which would be on the horizon, the stars are rotating in one direction, anti-clockwise. If you then turned round and faced south, those stars are rotating clockwise. Is that what you're talking about? Because that is how it would be. That's not a problem.
No, it's got nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with
It's
that.
like
Okay.
putting a ruler. It's like putting a ruler on a 45 and then reversing the ruler so it's 45 degrees the opposite direction.
Yeah. And?
That's what it's doing.
Right. What's the problem with that? If you were on a roundabout, okay, and you sat on the roundabout and looked up at 45 degrees, and someone spun the roundabout, the sky's going round in one. No, actually, that's not exactly right, is it? But this is just. Have you actually held a ball and rotated it? It doesn't matter where you are around the ball. Everything outside you, the window, your partner, a cheese sandwich on the counter, are all going to be rotating in the same physical, or apparently in the same physical direction. But if you look up, it will look clockwise. If you look down, it will look anti-clockwise. Hello? I can see Jazla's still there. You still there, Jazla? Hello? It looks like he's... I'm not sure if he's talking or not, or if his mic's locked on. It's got a little circle around him, but I can't hear anything. Jazla? I'll give him a chance to come back in. Let's just... I get what he's saying about the first thing, about the stars. If the Earth was rotating round, then he's saying that the pole star would move. But it's a question of scale. I did a bit of maths earlier on, and with a baseline between Earth and New Horizons to Polaris, that's a 4 billion mile baseline to a star call it 4 light years away. Polaris is about 420 odd light years away, roughly 100 times further away, and we've got a baseline, 6-month baseline going orbiting the sun of 186 million. New Horizons had 4 billion, and it's only a tiny little effect. It's not good. I mean, there will be an effect, but there ain't no way we're going to measure it. Or we haven't been able to yet. Hello, Jazla, you still there? Colon, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop Jazla into the waiting room. Hopefully we can get him sorted out and we'll get him back on. Jazla? I don't know if he's got issues. I popped him back in the waiting room, so fingers crossed we can get him back on. Yes, so I understand what he's saying about the pole star thing, but he's wrong. But with this thing, I'll be honest and say, if you can hear me, Jazla, I ain't got the faintest idea what you have as a problem with this. As you walk around the ball, as you're going approaching north, yeah, the pole star looks higher and higher until it's directly overhead. As you go past, it appears lower and lower. So what? And the object you're stood on is rotating. There is no problem with that I can see. Oh, sorry, Mandelbrot said, I just realised you actually DM'd me when Jazla first arrived, just to let me know. Thank you, sir. Sorry I didn't pick that up. Even with my newfangled whiz-bang double monitor setup, I still didn't see that. It's actually easier, though, than other times. So hopefully Colon's trying to get him working. It looks like he's no longer locked on speech. Colon, can you drop us a DM if you can get him going? Yeah, it's a bit of a shame if we're having technical difficulties. I cannot and will not and don't hold that against him, of course. Yeah, finger one eye, then the other, then a bottle on the other side of the room, one eye. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, check out 8.6 times 10 to the negative 6% of the distance. Absolutely. Yeah, so the Earth baseline from Midsummer's Night to Midwinter's Night, 186 million miles, comparing it with 4 billion miles for New Horizons. New Horizons has a 43 times larger, approximately 43 times longer baseline, and it only just saw what's the word? Parallax. Only just saw parallax with Proxima Centauri, the nearest star, and Polaris is roughly 100 times further away. So the angle is going to be 1/100th of that. That's all it is. It's 3D. Well, with that, it's just scale. As I said before we started, Jazla, talk to you, and hopefully we get you back in there. You do seem like a nice guy. I have no problems with you at all. I think you're totally wrong, and I think I've shown you that you're totally wrong. But I have no problems. You've come on here. You turned up when you said you tried to turn up when you said, but you have turned up. You've been nice and polite. I have no issues with you at all. So I'm going to thank you for that. Hopefully we can get you back in. Oh, hold on, I've had a DM from Colon. He's sorted again, fingers crossed. Thank you, Colon. Let's bring him back in. Hello, Jazla. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what happened. It was locked on as though you were speaking, but you obviously weren't. I don't know what has happened, but Colon's got you sorted.
I don't know what happened either, mate.
Yeah, not to worry.
It just got hung up on me.
Yeah, look, listen, it doesn't matter. It's technical difficulties, and you said. Well, what I was just saying is, with regard to the Polaris thing, that the first video, the sun moves around. I'm explaining that it's literally scale. Polaris is 100 times further away than Proxima Centauri. New Horizons had a baseline between Earth and itself 43 times longer than the baseline between one side of the Sun and the other in the Earth's orbit, and it could only just see the parallax in Proxima Centauri. So something with a baseline 1/43rd as long, looking at something 100 times further away, and we are talking stellar distances, obviously, you ain't going to measure a difference. You're not going to see any parallax. Okay, but I know you wanted to move on, but talking about this, I'll be honest and say I'm not really sure what you're getting at, because I don't really see what the problem is that I'm trying to defend.
Well, if you're at 30 degrees on the northern side where you are, and you walk to the South Pole or the North Pole,
Yep.
the pole star is 90 degrees above your head. The actual pole has changed angle to your body. Okay, the pole is actually up and down now, whereas before you were 30 degrees to that up and down.
Okay, well, it's reference frame. You could say it's changed to you, or you've changed to it. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, if you keep walking, the plane of the stars are based off that line. If you keep walking, what do I mean?
Yeah, but
well, if
when you say the
turn
plane of the stars, you're not talking about the ecliptic.
The whole star, the whole universe is connected to the Earth. If you turn the Earth, the universe turns. Everything is connected.
Well, what if you had one person on one side of the Earth, 30 degrees one side of the North Pole, someone else 30 degrees the other side of the North Pole, and they both walk to it and over it and to the other thing? You've got the entire universe moving in two directions then.
No, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
Look,
for an example, the protractor, is the dot. That's the Earth in the center. Well, the circumference of that protractor is the sky, the angles to everything in the sky. Now, if I turn that protractor, the dot in the center, the Earth, all of the angles that go to those stars change. They spin around with the Earth.
But you do know, when you're walking from 30 degrees one side past and 30 degrees down to the other, the Earth has not changed its rotation. You have walked around an object which is moving, but it's just
which changes the angle of the stars to the pole.
No, the stars north. Okay, when you're at 30 degrees off of the North Pole appears, not directly above you. As you move to the pole until you're over it, on it, then the pole star is directly above you. It has not moved. You have just changed the direction you're looking at it. You've changed the angle of your body.
That's correct. And the stars themselves change direction in the sky because the pole is facing the opposite direction. Yes, it is. I've made the 3D model. I can prove it.
Right, I've got your model on the screen. Hold on, I've got your model on the screen.
You can download sky maps, okay? You can download sky maps. You can actually rotate the sky, and that's what would happen if you're on the other side of the pole.
Yeah, you're looking at it from a different angle. What's the problem with that?
A different perspective, that's right. I'm looking at a perspective of if I did spin around the opposite side, well, the pole star would be angled opposite and the star plane would change angles.
You know, it's not a flat... You could imagine it, because the stars are so far away, you could imagine them as... you've got the globe...
The ground is irrelevant.
Well, hold on. You could imagine them, if you got the globe of the Earth, you could imagine the stars as a sphere around you, at a humongous distance. Okay? But...
See, my eye is like a plane, okay? It floats above the ground, okay? And if I fly a plane to the opposite side of the pole, I'm looking in the totally opposite direction. The stars change angle off the pole. Because if I'm on the other side on the equator, the pole is actually parallel to my ground.
If you're at the equator, the pole looks parallel, yes. You know there's no
That's
top...
correct.
Yeah, you know there's no...
If I walk to the pole, the angle of that line is actually up and down now. It's not flat.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Right.
Therefore, the star angles have changed.
Okay, let me put it this way. Let's sit you on the equator, okay? And we'll put you in one of those harnesses so that we can rotate you in any direction. So you stay on the equator, okay? We lift you off the ground, a foot or two off the ground, and then turn you so that you're stood on your head. Okay, so you're upside down. So if you were looking at the stars, everything appears to have changed. We could turn you in different angles. The stars appear to you to be different. But they haven't.
That's because you're moving.
Yes, and if you walk from 30 degrees off of the equator, if you walk 30 degrees off of North Pole to the North Pole and past 30 degrees, you have moved exactly the same. So yes, you could walk.
It's the same with the camera. The camera knows it's upside down. You put two cameras pointed at the pole star, one upside down, one the right way up. Well, guess what? One goes backwards, one goes forwards. So the cameras know that they're upside down.
What, are you just talking about filming? So if you filmed the stars...
That's correct. If you film the stars at the pole star,
oh, right. Okay.
Down camera will go backwards,
so this
the top one will go forward.
Right, so you're at the North Pole, you lay two cameras on their backs on the ground, pointing at the North Pole star. But one camera...
One upside down, one the right way up.
Okay, so you put the two bases of the cameras together, yeah?
Yep.
Yep, and they're both filming, the stars rotate. They're going to film exactly the same thing.
To go and stick them on a video recorder and film them and see what they actually record.
They're going to record the same thing.
No, one's upside down, so it's actually coming from left of screen, not right of screen, and you actually realise that. I don't even have to do this experiment. I can do this experiment in my mind. My mind is like a supercomputer. I can visualise things.
I would beg to differ, Jazla. Okay, you've got a roundabout. You've got two people sat on a roundabout, looking up at the sky, okay? They're on opposite sides of the roundabout. If I push that roundabout clockwise, they're both going to see the sky turn in the same direction. They could have been sat back to back, both looking up at the sky.
Okay.
They will be...
Okay, now put two people back to back and actually spin them around.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got two people back to back and you get them to rotate around. Yeah, so if I stood back to back, you're stood one side of a pole, I'm stood the other, and we're tied together around that pole, and we start walking. I step to the left, you step to your left. I step to my left again, you step. We're both going round the same way. Sorry, I didn't mean to shout.
Funny that the camera knows that.
The camera doesn't know anything. It's just filming what there is. They're both rotating the same way. I actually think there might be just a simple misunderstanding here, Jazla.
All right. All right.
I tell you what, since you are sure of this, if you have two cameras, why don't you do it? Put them on a roundabout, put them back to back, pointing upwards.
No, we're not putting them on a roundabout. We're putting them at the pole star.
Yeah, well, you can think of it as a roundabout because it's rotating, isn't it, around that pole?
No, it's not rotating. That's why.
What do you mean it's not rotating? How do you get the... Okay, you lay that camera on the floor, pointing at the sky. What are you going to get? You're going to get star trails, aren't you, as they rotate around? So,
If I rotate to 30 degrees on the opposite side, the pole star is facing in the opposite direction in the sky. That's something... It's not rocket science, man.
but if you took any object, if you took a tree and you walk one way and I walk the other, it appears to be in a different direction. It's not. It's in the same place. You're just looking at it from two directions.
All right.
It hasn't moved.
Well, go and get a light, a drone, okay?
Oh dear, yeah.
Angle it whatever angle you want it to angle to that light and walk around it and see what actually happens. See how you perceive it. See what actually happens.
Well, if you've got
The light,
sorry,
you walk past the light, man. So you know what it does? It's in the opposite direction. You're walking past the light. You're on the opposite side of it.
What, like a
you're
street?
past it. You're physically past it.
Okay, so you've got what, like a street light? I can see a street light. I
That's right,
walk up to it, walk past the street light. Instead of in front of me, it's behind me. Yeah,
That's correct.
right. And this is just a simple concept of travelling along past an object.
That's correct. It's in the opposite direction because you're past it physically.
Right.
You're
But
not passing the pole star physically to the other side.
but
You're on the same side.
I know you're passing the notional pole between the North Pole and the pole star, okay? So if we make it a really long physical pole that sticks out the top of the Earth and goes 420 or 400 light years and it touches the pole star. So there's a physical pole there. So if I walk to it from one side, that pole is in front of me. If I walk past, that pole is behind me. But neither the Earth nor the star have moved. I have moved.
I don't think you understand it, but it's all good. If
Well-
I walk from the equator, okay, let's do it this way. If I walk from the equator, okay,
Yeah.
over the pole star, and then back to the equator, do you know which direction the pole star is facing?
Well, the pole star will be at the excuse me. The pole star will be at the horizon again
Yeah, facing in the opposite direction.
because in effect, you've turned around,
That's correct.
right? And so, why is turning around a problem?
How can it be in the opposite direction? It's in the same direction.
I got to say at this point, I don't really know what to say because, I mean, if you picked any object, if I'm driving towards a mountain, it's in front of me. I keep driving past, a few miles, it's behind me. The mountain's in the same frickin' place. I'm just looking different. What's the problem? I have travelled.
Now think of it if the Earth spun.
Right.
What would happen?
With what? I mean, I spin, the mountain spins, the seas spin, the whole Earth spins. So if I'm not driving along, I sit there looking at the mountain for a whole day. The Earth turns all the way around. I'm still sat there looking at the mountain. The same distance from the mountain.
It doesn't change.
No, it doesn't change.
It's funny that you can change. It's funny that you can change the angle of the pole by walking around north to south. Okay, but if the Earth spins around, it doesn't change.
No, because it's spin. That's its axis. That's. You can't take a basketball. You've seen them. You've seen them spin a basketball on their finger. That basketball is going around, but it's still balanced right on their finger, rotating around one point.
You obviously don't understand it, so it's all good, mate.
Well, I appreciate Well, I hope you accept that I'm not being nasty and getting angry with you, and I do
No,
appreciate
some
that you're
things
taking it
people
in good spirit and thinking, rightly or wrongly, thinking and saying that you believe I don't understand it. I appreciate the way you've been tonight as a guest, Jazz. I honestly do. Thank you.
Yeah, well, some people don't understand things. It's like physics and Einstein's relativity. People just don't understand it. You can tell them 100 times, they still just don't comprehend it. It's some things people understand, some things people don't. It's all
Well,
good. I'm easy.
that is
If you don't,
true. That is
if you
true.
don't agree
Although,
with me, you don't agree with me. It's fine.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, listen. There's a guy who was here earlier. I don't know. You didn't. I don't think you caught the start of the stream. He's a friend of mine. He's a nice guy. Do you mind if we bring him in? And I'm sure he's been listening, and maybe he's got a different take. Maybe he gets what you're saying about something that I don't. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Okay, that's cool. He hasn't really had much warning. Jack, I'm going to bring you back in. Perhaps you have a chat with Jazla. Maybe you can ask a different question. Maybe that you've caught something that I haven't that Jazla's saying. Because hey, if I'm misunderstanding something, I would be glad to know. Because then I either would say, yeah, you're right, Jazla, or I say, no, Jazla, you're wrong because. I'd hate it to be because of a misunderstanding. Well, let's bring Jack in. Hello, Jack. You in here?
Well.
Hello.
If it is
Jack, this is Jazla. Jazla's Jack. I don't
Hello.
know. I don't know. Did you catch all that, Jack?
I tried, but listening to the waiting room and the stream at the same time is a little bit complicated. So I tried to focus more a bit on the waiting room. But you can catch me on with what happened so far.
Well, Jazla's been trying to explain about this thing about 30 degrees off of the pole, travelling over the pole, 30 degrees past the pole, and describing a situation that I don't see as a problem, and Jazla obviously thinks it is a problem, but either he's wrong or I have not grasped what he's trying to say. Would you like to have a go?
I would certainly try, but I'm a little bit. I had a little bit, I had a few beers, so it might. Yes.
Well, give it a go, Jazla. Why don't you explain to Jack? I'll sit back a bit and just listen.
Give it a shot.
Oh, how the stars change direction if you walk past the pole star?
Yeah. Explain that sort of thing to Jack.
Okay, well, if you have a protractor, for an example, the center of the protractor is the Earth, okay? If you draw a line from 90 degrees to...
Hang on a second. We're talking the equator, right? The equator is the line of our protractor, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, from 90 degrees to 180 degrees is the line, the plane of the stars, okay? The north and the south is the top of the compass, the top of the... Just bear with me.
It's all right. I'm also a little bit drunk, so... We're equaling each other out.
Now, someone's just said that your mics are a bit loud. I've just knocked them back a bit. Thanks, guys.
I could just do it physically on my mic.
No. I've said it now, Jack. Leave it as it is. Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.
Okay, so if you've got 90 degrees and 270, that is the plane, the elliptic plane, okay? The north
You know
is
what?
the three...
You know what? Just
and...
Pat, pause for a sec. I'm going to go grab a protractor. I have it at my hand.
Yeah, grab the protractor.
Let's see.
Oh, hopefully you can get somewhere with this, Jazla.
All right, you said...
Okay.
All right, I have it on hand.
All right, so the 0 is the top.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
You know what?
Just bear with me.
It would be actually good if I could even grab an image of the Earth.
Okay, 180 is south. 0 is north.
Wait a minute. There's the
And then you have
image.
east and west, which is 90 and 270.
180 is the north. In 170, you said, what was it?
Well, it's imagine a protractor is the Earth, the top is the north, the bottom is the south. Okay, now let's put the degrees in. 0 is the north,
Yep.
the 180 is the south. Okay.
Well, it really depends how you.
Well, if you turn this protractor,
To the right.
everything in the sky, to the right, to the left, everything in the sky changes because the elliptic changes.
You could say that. But why does it change? That's the question.
It's changing everything. Because if you're standing on the equator on that little protractor, the line that goes from 0 to 180 has turned 90 degrees.
Yeah, but why does it
Which
happen?
means the plane of the stars have changed.
Well, you could say that the plane of the stars have changed, but look, in one hemisphere is one thing, and in the other one is a different thing.
They've changed to your perception, okay? And if you're on the opposite side, your perception has changed. So therefore, you would see it differently.
Hang on, is it the perception that changes, or is it the physical matter around us that kind of like changes?
The perception changes because your eye is the center of everything.
That's good that we established that. The reason that happens,
you're moving the eye in space. And by moving the eye in space, things move.
What do you mean things move? Physically move, or they just look in a different position to you?
They look in a different position because your eye is in a different position. Well, your eye actually isn't in a different position. Everything is in a different position to your eye.
If you would put it that way, look, the reason that the two hemispheres are looking different is because the Earth is spinning. If you were to put it, look, if you would put it on a flat disk, right? Why would it change? Because
I've already made a video with a flat disc and how it changes if I walk past the South Pole.
Hang on. Let's be fair. I'm drunk. I had like 4 beers. That's like 4 liters. I'm going to be frank with you. You made a video. I'm definitely. I promise to you, I'll go and look at it. But right now we're here, and I kind of want to hear your sort of. Just condense it. Just try to explain to me right now in this moment of time, why do you think that would be different on a flat disk? Let's say the Earth is flat, okay? Why would it be different if I would be like anywhere? Why would the stars be different?
It's still the same on a flat disk.
Okay.
If a flat disk spun around, it does the same.
Jazla, if you're stood in the middle of a room and you look up at the ceiling and you start rotating clockwise, the ceiling is rotating one way, yeah? But then if you carry on turning, you keep taking those same steps, but you look down at your feet, it apparently is rotating the other direction. But you are still physically moving in the same direction, rotating the same way, yeah?
That's the same as my camera analogy.
I may have misunderstood your camera analogy. I thought you were saying if you had 2 cameras both pointed up at Polaris, but one do you know what I mean? You've got 2 cameras and you turn. Oh, you can't see. You turn.
If you're filming it upside down, well, then therefore it spins opposite. Because
right, so you're talking about looking down. So one's looking up at the North Pole star, and the other's looking down through the Earth towards the south. Is that what you're saying?
Well, when you go and put the video footage from that camera onto a computer, the electromagnetics within that camera knows which X, Y, and Z is, so it knows the direction of up. So when you stick it in the camera, the film is actually the right way up, but filmed upside down. So therefore, everything spins backwards.
See, Mr. S.
Well, just 1 second, Jack. So if you took those 2 cameras, Jazla, and you literally glued the backs of them together and pointed one at the ceiling and one at the floor and rotated. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's a bit different because you're looking in two directions. with
Right.
the
Okay.
cameras.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of that, we've got them both looking at the ceiling, but one of them, the base of the two bases of the cameras are touching, but they're both looking up at the ceiling. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They are both going to show exactly the same thing when you rotate. They start off that one is near your door and the other's nearer the window, but as it rotates, they'll swap positions. You keep going. They're both rotating in the same direction. They're both going to show exactly the same. The camera does not know which way it's up.
Okay.
The only way that the camera determines which way is up or
Can
down
Can you
is
go
based
take a
on the
photo
gravity.
of an upside down photograph, okay, then go stick it in your video camera database and actually look at it and you watch what happens. It will show you an upside down picture. You know why it shows you an upside down picture? Because the camera knows it's the right way up.
No.
It's the gyroscope, actually.
No. If I took a picture of you with a camera, then turned the camera upside down and took a picture, the reason when you look at those two images, once you upload them to the computer, one is upside down, is not because the camera sort of knows where it is. It's just that the light rays hit the CCD in one direction, jump with the camera one way up, and the other direction with the other.
The camera knows it's upside down. That's why
How?
it takes
How
an
does a
upside
camera
down.
know what way is up and down?
Because it takes an upside down photo.
No.
It takes a...
The cap.
Sorry, go on, Jack.
Yeah, it's just I'm a bit of a nerd. The only way that the camera understands which way is up or down is by using a gyroscope. And the gyroscope can only understand which way is up or down because of the gravity. There's no other way.
Okay, can you go take a photo of a camera upside down and see what the photo shows?
Yeah,
Does it show
the picture will look upside... Yes, no one denies, Jazla. If I took a photo of you with the camera held upside down, then uploaded it onto a computer, you would be stood on your head. No one is denying that. But that's because the camera was upside down. There's nothing special about the camera.
Yeah, but when you stick it on your computer, the camera knows the right way up. So therefore it shows you an upside down picture.
It's just data.
Not exactly. It's not actually accurate. Because my phone, the Samsung Galaxy, whatever I have, sometimes the gyroscope fucks up, and when I'm holding my phone like horizontally, the right way up, let's say the charging port is facing my right arm, I'm seeing the picture it's the right way that it should be. I take the photo and then I look at it and it's completely flipped and it's all fucked up because the gyroscope was confused and it thought that I was holding the phone completely the other way. Some cameras have the gyroscope, some don't.
I don't think Jazla's even talking about that. Are you talking as well, Jazla, with an old-fashioned camera with film in it? Okay. If I take a photo, if I take an old-fashioned camera with film, and I turn the camera upside down, take the image, one image upside down, then on the negatives, that one image will appear the other way up. Of course, when you print them out, all you've got to do is go, oh, it's the right way up now.
3 days before that, he was taken to the vet. The vet said that he's got a tumour in his freaking esophagus and all of this.
Sorry, Jazla, you've gone very, very quiet, mate.
He's not well.
Yeah, you got to talk closer to the mic.
Sitting on our clothes. It's like,
Jazla, can you hear me, Jazla? We can't hear you properly.
Closer to the mic. Oh, man.
Hello, Jazla. Are we listening to Jazla or the TV in the background? Hello, Jazla?
Hello.
Sorry about that.
Okay, you're talking to someone else. All right, okay. Yeah, I was just saying, Jazla, are you concerned the same effect with an ordinary camera, the one that takes film? If I took a couple of photos of you, then turned the camera upside down and took another one, then turned the camera the right way up and took a few more, that if you looked at the negatives, one image would be upside down. There's no clever electronics, no computers It's just that the light rays pass through the lens, hit the film the other way up. That's all that happens
Yeah, the
with a
light rays
digital
are
camera,
magnetic.
except instead of striking the film, it's striking the CCD.
The light rays are what determine direction.
Yes, with a lens. With a lens, when you take in fact, with a lens, you take an image. The image is formed on the film upside down every bloody time. So, in fact, you turn the camera upside down, you'll actually get the image forming on your film, on your negative, the right way up. But I can't.
Okay, well, let's get two cameras. Let's get two cameras, one upside down, one the right way up.
Yes.
Okay, and then film a ball going past those two cameras. You watch what happens on the video, on the film, on the computer when you watch it. One will be going left, one will be going right.
Right. And you
That
turn
just
the image,
proves that-
you flip, you mirror the image, and they're both going the same way. Sorry, it proves what?
You're obviously
But-
not thinking about it.
No. If the thing is, if you look at the images, both going right and left, the reference frame remains the same. Let's say we have some object in the frame. I don't know, a chair.
No, there's no reference frame because it's a black sky.
But the sky isn't black.
Okay. Jazla, if I take a picture of something in the black sky and print out that photograph, which is the right way up? There is no right way up. You can rotate it left, right, and centre.
You'd need to do the experiment to prove it to yourself. But anyway,
I really, really don't think I do. I really don't. I mean, if I flip my image, I'm not going to muck around with it now, but I flip my image on here so I appear upside down, I'm still sat the same way up. It's just the image is upside down. Nothing has moved. I'm not sure we're going to get any. Jazla, right, now you why don't you do a video to explain exactly this effect that you think is an issue, which I don't, but and then let us know and we will have a look at it.
yeah, no, that's fine. I can make a video doing it.
It seems fair because when we're here on the stream, it's a little bit complicated to, like, some people can visualize things better than others. And like you told me about the whole protractor thing, and I didn't understand what you told me until I actually pulled up an image and put a protractor on top of the image. So I think that's the best course of action right now.
And then if you turn the center of the protractor to the Earth, you know what happens? Everything aligns and moves with the Earth.
The stars aren't moving, though, not in that sense. You're just pointing in a different direction. Instead of
moving them.
Yeah, instead of walking all the way around the Earth, if you were tied to a board so you couldn't fall, tied to a board, and that board is at 45 degrees, and then it tilts all the way over so it's 45 degrees the other way. Jack, the car, the trees, the kids playing football, they're all in exactly the same place. You're just looking at them from a slightly different direction.
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
you used this phrase earlier on, Jazla, but I'm going to use it.
So
this is not rocket
science.
science.
And then therefore they in a different angle, different everything to your location.
Yes. From your reference frame, instead of all leaning forward, they're all now leaning backwards, but they're still in exactly the same place they were before. Nothing has changed. So all you're talking about is the fact that you are in a slightly different location, looking in a slightly different direction. Big deal. What's the issue?
The issue is the plane. The plane of the stars, the line the stars travel along.
So I'm not going to say the word imagine, perceive the world to be a flat plane, and
I'm
the
not
stars
sure
to
he does. I'm not sure he does, Jack.
No, I'm just trying to, you know. So the world is a flat plane, and the stars are also a separate plane, or is it a dome, like a traditional way, like let's say a lot of flat earthers would refer to it?
No, I see it as we live in a computer, like a game of Call of Duty, just with a lot better graphics. And
Sorry,
So,
that's yeah. Go on, carry on, Jazla. Sorry.
so a simulation type of thing.
well,
A simulation, I could
it's like what holds up the ground on a flat Earth. What holds up the ground in the game of Call of Duty?
Well,
There isn't
we
really,
don't hold
technically
that the Earth
speaking.
is flat, Jazla, so we don't have to posit things like turtles on top of elephants or anything.
I
Nothing
didn't
holds it
ask
up.
what
It
holds,
is a ball
what
that's
holds.
drifting in space.
No. You didn't answer the question. The question was what holds up the ground in the game of Call of Duty.
I can actually answer that, being a really gamer slash developer type of person.
It's called
Nothing is really
electromagnetic.
no.
Yes,
It's
it's all designed off the electromagnetics within that computer.
Well, if you go down to the components of a computer, yes, but
It's
if
just
you're
data.
developing,
Yes.
no. Look, if you're developing a game, the only thing you really need is to say, okay, the ground is a solid and nothing passes through it, and it's a texture.
Excuse me, things do pass through the ground. I'll put my life on it.
Well, just
If
we're
things
talking
do-
about software. It's a
No.
coordinate
Look.
system. You'll specify coordinates where objects are solid, where objects are liquid, where
in
you'll paste what is the word skins
Do you
over
know what will
things.
travel through the ground?
hang
know
on,
what will
no,
travel
hang on,
through the
Jazza, wait. Jazza, wait. You started with Call of Duty, and then the way I understand it, you cross-reference with real life, saying that people can travel through the ground. Yes, you can dig into the ground, but in Call of Duty, you can't.
No, you can put something through the ground. Yes, you can. You can send a photon all the way to the core. Okay, a photon will travel all the way to the core, to the abyss, mate. You send a photon to the abyss, what do you think happens?
I don't think you can.
No,
really
I don't think
send a
photon. I mean,
to the core.
perhaps you're mistaken. Things like
I can send a direct current,
Jazla,
inductive
different
photon
particles,
to the core. I've
neutron.
already done it.
Yeah,
Do you want to know
Jazla,
why your
Jazla.
magnetosphere is pressurizing?
Jazla, neutrons will pass right through the Earth. Perhaps that's what you're meaning, not photons. Photons are light, so they won't go
Yeah,
through.
photons will, mate. Photons do. Do you
Okay.
go watch a video called "You Are from the Future"? It'll explain exactly how a photon will travel.
Okay. Well, can I just say I have had a super chat
Can you link us that video, please, later
from. You won't have
in the main chat?
You are from the future.
So
from
someone,
the Most High.
if someone can Google that video called "You Are from the Future," can I just say I've had a super chat from PhD Tony. Thank you, Tony, for $5 Australian. It's a question for you, Jazla. Okay, it says, how does your guest explain the different stellar rotation in the north and southern hemispheres when viewed from the equator? So, stood on the equator, they appear to rotate in different directions. What would be your explanation for that?
Perspective. A pole star that is 10,000 kilometers away, how high actually is the angular resolution?
The pulse star, as I
What is
said,
the
is
actual height of that?
426 light years away, I think, give or take a bit. Whatever the margin of error is, it's quite a bit more than 10,000 miles.
It's like if I have a light post, okay? I have 100 light posts in a line, okay? What's the angular resolution of that last light post? If I draw an angle to it, guess what? That light post is actually a shrunken light post, so therefore the angles do not line up.
It's a point
I
light
believe you
source.
are confusing things a little.
When you're looking at a star, to our eyes, it's a point light source. And even with a telescope, you're not going to resolve it into a sphere or a circle or any object. All you're going to have is a point light source.
Okay, well, if I
Perspective
have a
doesn't
drone
come
in
into
the
it. You can
sky,
either
for example, 50
it's
meters,
reached a point. It's beyond angular resolution. Stars are, they're beyond angular resolution. It's just a case of, can you see any light? If it's too far away, it fades more and more until it's too dim to be seen purely through the distance. You're not changing the angular resolution. Sorry?
Something further away from you is lower due to angular resolution.
No, an object would appear lower due to perspective if it's on the Earth. But if it's a star that's directly above your head, like the pole star, and you're stood at the pole, it's not going to get.
I might have to make a video on that one.
Please do. Please do.
I will. I'll make another video of why things appear lower further away, even though they're at the same height.
Oh, I have been corrected quite rightly on one thing by Mr. David Oliver. Photons can pass through solid glass, and he's absolutely right on that, of course.
Photon defies physics.
Why?
The photon will travel to the core and keep continuing traveling, especially if you put it in motion and send it there.
Have you got a shadow, Jazla? If you go out in the sun, do you have a shadow?
Yeah, of course I have a shadow.
That's because your body has blocked the photons.
No, the photons actually absorb into me. They go into me. They go through me. I obtain that space. A photon is space. Okay, if you don't believe me, we'll go charge a battery with a solar panel and see what happens. The space expands the battery.
No. A solar panel converts photons into electrical energy. It's different. It's not exactly the same.
It's not filling it with photons.
It's filling it with space.
It transforms one type of energy into another. It transforms the light energy, meaning the photons, into electrical energy, which is different, through a method.
If you went into a cave, Jazla, without a torch, you ain't going to see anything, because all the light, all the photons have been blocked.
It's a bit like the Earth.
Yes, the Earth.
You turn out the sun, you're nothing but dark matter. Your matter that is darker than light.
I don't know what time of day it is there, Jazla, but here it's 11:15 at night, and if I look outside, there is no sunlight, because it's all been blocked by the Earth, because it's on the other side of the Earth from me.
See, look. If you are saying,
do you know why you can't see my kitchen light?
Sorry, Jazla, I didn't hear you. Say again.
I said, do you know why you can't see my kitchen light?
Well, two reasons.
Because of distance.
Well,
if you were close, okay, if you're close and like 50 meters from my kitchen light, you would see it.
Yes.
But if you were 100 meters or 1,000 kilometers away from it, you are not going to see it, even though it's flat. Do you understand that concept?
As you go further, if you're 1,000 kilometers away, then you've got the curve of the Earth as well. But even with that, hold on, let me finish, Jazla. Even if you,
I'm talking about flat surface.
Even if you let me finish, I was actually going to say that. Even if you didn't have the curve of the Earth, yes, I could accept you're not going to see your kitchen light through the window because it's so far away. It's not bright enough for me to see anymore. That would be like stars that are beyond magnitude. What is it? Beyond magnitude 6, is it, or minus 6? I forget which way it is. But then you get a telescope. You'll pull them back in, which is basically a bigger eye gathering more light. You'll see it. So again, on your flat surface at 1,000 kilometers, maybe with a kick-ass telescope pointing towards your house, it gathers enough light. So yes, I can see it again.
Guys, may I ask a question?
Please.
Yeah, mate.
Jazla, you said that photons can travel to the core of the Earth.
Yep.
When you say that, that implies that there's a down. So photons are traveling from up to down to a core. So meaning it's underground. Then you go on and say, say you bring up an analogy of a person like staying far away and not being able to see the light of your kitchen light. Why wouldn't a person see the light from the kitchen being far away if the photons can travel through the core of the Earth. Meaning, like, look, okay, first of all, the core of the Earth, if it's a molten metal, like everybody says it is, it should be emitting light because it emits
Yeah,
energy.
and you know what?
Hang on.
You can
Hang
actually
on.
change
Wait.
the direction of that molten metal by electromagnetic induction.
Wait.
So what
I'm
happens
gonna
if
hear
you
you out.
change this? What happens
I'm
if
gonna
you
hear you
change the
out.
spin of the metal spinning?
Wait. We're gonna get into the spin of the metal. Let's just let me finish, and then you can tell me about the spin of the metal. If it emits energy, it emits light because it's hot, it's glowing. Shouldn't you be able to see that glowing light if the photons can travel from the surface of the Earth to the core? Shouldn't the core be able to emit light in a way that you could see it from the surface?
If it had enough voltage and current, yes, you would be able to see it.
But voltage is not really relevant to photons. I mean, electricity emits light, yes, but a lot of things can emit light without electricity.
Everything
could
has electricity.
Well, no, because if you melt, let's say you melt a metal with your DIY metal furnace, it's glowing, but it has no electrical charge, does it?
Yes, it does. You know why it's glowing? Because
glowing.
it contains electrical energy. That's what heat is. It's energy.
Then
Energy.
hang on.
But not
Hang on.
electrical energy, it's heat energy.
Hang on.
Well, how do you make heat with electrical energy?
A fire?
No, you can make energy by converting one type of energy to another. It's not necessarily electrical energy.
Fossil fuels?
It's called chemical energy. Like if you get chlorine and brake fluid, you can make a massive fireball. It's called chemical energy.
There's lots of different, as Jack just said, there's lots of different types of energy. There's electrical energy, there's fossil fuels. You don't put electric in your car, you put petrol or diesel. Well, actually, you may have an electric car, yeah, but you know what I mean. Your combustion engine doesn't run on electric.
The point that I'm trying to make.
If you try and burn carbon, see what happens.
Yes, we know lots of things give you energy. Yeah.
It's the end result of the burn off.
Yes, but there's no electricity involved. And it's glowing and you can see photons.
No, the electricity is what is involved in the process of actually creating the carbon.
Look, Jazza, look. The point that I'm trying to make, all of the things that you said, it's okay. But when you say that photons can travel to the core of the Earth, it implies that there is a down. It implies that there's a dimension to even up and down. That's already a dimension. So flat Earth, it has dimension. How far does it go? Why is there a core of the Earth? Why, if photons can go down, why is the core of the Earth not emitting enough light for us to see it on the surface? You see, you say these things, and
no, everything is actually coming back. The energy is actually coming back because the core has been reversed. So what that does is it starts to actually bring the energy back up, not down. Okay, and if you go look at your
I'm
magnetic
not saying it is.
Yeah, that's right. I made a video about this nearly 3 years ago, that your Earth is going to start pressurizing and all the energy is going to start coming back. Now, if you go look at your magnetosphere, you'll see that a photon hit the core.
You mentioned about Earth pressurizing before. Do you mean the atmosphere, or are you talking about something to the physical Earth? Something about the physical Earth? What are you talking about?
The space, okay? Energy contains space. So what is actually happening is space is actually coming back like a magnet, okay? You get a magnet, what is actually around the magnet that repels the other magnet? Is it density? Is it air? What is it?
It's other magnetical fields that repel the magnets.
Space.
You've got North Poles and South Poles, but perhaps we shouldn't bring up poles again.
No, hang on. You say that space repels magnets. So if I have a magnet, if
pressurized space.
Wait. If let's say I take a magnet, a neodymium magnet, which is powerful, and put it in a pressure chamber, in a pressure like pot, the ones that are used to expel oxygen out of, I don't know, acrylic, the acrylic that's used to cast those cutesy little transparent thingies, right? Like little hearts and stuff. I put a magnet in there. If I pressurize the air inside of that chamber, the magnet is not going to move, because no matter how much I pressurize that air, there's not going to be any external magnetical field generated. So the magnet is just going to stay still there. It's not going to move.
That's because it's on a different frequency.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
You
Okay.
obviously know how frequency works.
I think we've
You
come
need to be on the
rather a
right
long way
frequency to
from
tune into it.
angles to the pole here.
What I'm talking about is if you get two magnets, a north, and push them together, what is actually repelling them? What is it? What is in the middle of those
The
two
magnetic
objects?
field.
It's
The
space.
magnetic field of two magnets.
Yeah, which is pressurized space. You can see it. You can visually see it. There's nothing there. There's no density. There's no nothing. There's nothing there.
There's
Because
nothing.
it's on a
Apart from
different
space.
level entirely.
Actually, you have those two magnets, North Pole towards North Pole, and put a sheet of paper over the top and sprinkle iron filings, you will see what's between it. The magnetic fields.
Exactly.
Yeah, the pressurized of space.
No.
Right, okay.
No.
I think we're way off topic here. Way off topic.
Okay.
Way off topic. Listen,
In-
I tell you
in
what,
a
Jazla, I'm going to give you, sort of full marks for coming on here, arguing your case, and
Politely.
not losing your cool, being polite and everything. So thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it, okay?
It
No,
is
that's
truly
fine. I just
commendable.
look at things from a different perspective.
And that is not the reason to be mean to each other in any way.
Absolutely.
that's correct.
Unfortunately, on some
That's-
in some spaces that's not the case, is it? So I'm glad that you
Well,
trusted.
debating is how you find out and you
Exactly.
transfer ideas. We download we upload information. That's what we're basically doing. We're a computer. Your brain works
Right.
like a computer. It stores memory. It has cameras. It has microphones. We are a computer,
Well-
and that's what I've realised within myself about 8 years ago, that I'm a computer. So that's why I go and look and research as much information as I possibly can. So then I become artificial intelligent because I have that much information.
Okay. Well, listen, what I think we'll do, Jazla, as I said, I do thank you for coming. I do respect you for the way you've behaved on the stream. That's absolutely excellent. Please do look at perhaps doing some videos on some of those things, especially the camera and the directions. I'd be interested to see what you come up
Yeah,
with,
well,
okay?
that'll be an interesting observation, that one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jazla. I really appreciate your time, okay?
That's fine.
I will put a link to your channel in the description. I hadn't before because obviously you hadn't arrived, but I will do that, okay? So that, obviously it's a link back to you, and if anyone wants to check out your channel, they can. Perhaps one of the mods could put a link in the chat now, just so that's there. Yeah, thank you very much. And I hope
that's all good.
hope you feel
I'm
that we
here to have
didn't
a
harangue
civil
you
flag.
or we weren't rude to you or anything like that.
No, that's all good. You
Cool.
enjoy your day or your night, and I'll enjoy my day.
Okay, you do that, sir. All right? Have a good one. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, all the best. Cheers.
All the best.
Okay, well, Jack, listen, thank you very much for stepping in while under the affluence of Inca Hole.
That was quite interesting.
It was interesting. I think we moved just too far away from what we were talking about, the stars, the rotations, the angles and stuff like that, into stuff, well, let's be fair, stuff that I've not prepared for. I did a Kent Hovind on that. I was not prepared for that. I was prepared for other things, but not prepared for that. But as I said, he was a nice guy. He was calm, cool, calm, collected, not rude at all in any way, was he?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what people in the chat made of all that. I know we got out there. I now see that people are talking about Dune. Arrakis, desert planet. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And I see that Room Fondle says now we're moving into magic. Woo. Okay. Right. Well, that was interesting. At least he did turn up, which was nice.
Yeah, it was great that he turned up.
Yeah.
Actually, he was rather interested in what he had to say. It was, even though it was a little bit interesting. It did not follow the, let's say, the template, the
No.
preset that a lot of flat earthers, brainwash their followers with. He kind of went out there.
Well, it's the first time. I know that people do wonder: are we living in a simulation? And would we know? That in itself is a valid question, because if the simulation was perfect, how are you going to know? And it's the first time I've spoken to anyone who holds that as a belief. I don't know quite where all the stuff about the video games and the photons was coming from. A video game is just data. It's just coordinates, isn't it? And as you said, you designate this area, these coordinates as solid ground, and stuff won't
exactly. Because I have a lot of experience with programming and Blender, and the way that he said it was a little bit surface level, and I tried to explain that you are the person that designates what is what, and there isn't really like an Earth holding you up, even though he thought it was a valid argument.
It's just data. If your object is moving, we'll call it downwards. Once it reaches the coordinates where that ground level is, it will stop and explode or land or do whatever it's supposed to do in the game. But I've just been sent a message. We've got a person in the waiting room who has also been on a chat with Jazla before. So I'm going to bring this person in, someone called ICQ. Okay? Hello, good evening, ICQ.
Read a little.
Hello, ICQ, you're on.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent. Hi, how are you?
Not so bad, thank you. Welcome to the channel. I understand from Colon that you've been on Jazla's on a chat with Jazla before.
Oh, I've been chatting with him in text, commenting in his video.
And
you actually watched them. Cool.
Where have you got to with Jazla then in your chats?
Well, I found after some good deal of chatting with him and looking at his videos, he seems to be on about the line between the pole stars, the north and south pole stars, and how the Earth might, what is it? The sun has to stay on one side or the other of that line between them. And I try to explain to him that the line between the pole stars is about as irrelevant as anything else in space.
Yeah, I gathered what he was saying with his video. So he had the Earth with a string through it, pointing to the North Pole star up by his ceiling or whatever. Well, that's fine, but let's say that's 3 meters long. But I think he worked out the length of that line, because it isn't to a star in the south, but it's 700 or 800 light years. Well, that's fine. And if you're moving 93 million miles, or 186 million miles sideways off that line, it's still going to look as though the ends of that line are in exactly the same place, because the angle is nothing. It's scale.
Oh, well, yeah, I explained to him, I agree entirely. In fact, I tried to explain to him, I figured 603 light years between the pole stars. That was the figure I was using. I said, if your fishing filament is, say, 8 feet long, cut that 8 feet into 603 parts, you have 0.16 segments, less than a quarter of an inch. Each one of those is a light year. The distance the sun deviates, the Earth deviates in that space around the sun, is about total of 16 light minutes.
Yes.
So
do you know, I went through exactly the same maths myself earlier on today. Yeah. Percentage-wise, did you get that far? I forget exactly. It's something like 0.0000002% off that line. Something like that.
Something like that. I worked those calculations with him last night. He didn't say a word.
Yeah. See, I had that. I went through all that today, and I just show on the screen. I've even got the calculator ready because I was going to go through it with him, and put that in. So you got this distance. You I was ready. I had the distance to Polaris, the 4 billion mile, 4 billion miles to New Horizons, and that tiny little star adjustment. But I mean, we started off talking about that, but he soon wanted to talk about other stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he kind of drifted. You need to expect for them to drift because they don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
ICQ is kind of glitching.
Hello, ICQ, you're roboting.
My time last night, and the moon, Venus, and Mercury, and everything else would be inside the fishing element, not a basketball. That was a whole universe, the whole solar system. Sorry, I'm getting lag right now.
Yeah, you're back again. You went very slow and then very quick. Yes, I know. He's also said he's made a scale model of the universe. Well, if he's made a scale model of the universe, let's say the size of his house, he ain't going to be able to make out anything that's within it.
It's going to be a mess.
Oh, I've seen what he calls a scale model. It's a wire cage he's created.
Oh, I saw that.
Pivots around a disk. Yeah, that was in one of his recent videos, and that's what he calls his scale model. And he points at the one part of it, which I thought it was originally supposed to be the Earth. He pointed at it and he says, "This is the South Pole," and then he's saying, "No, this is the pole star," and that's not the same thing.
No.
He's claiming, though, that because the line between the poles is always aligned with the Earth's rotational axis, for the Earth to move around the sun, it would have to go out of alignment. I try to explain to him that line between the pole stars never even touches the Earth. It doesn't go through the Earth.
No, but even if it did, if the North Pole star was absolutely spot on 90.0000 degrees above the North Pole, and there was a star at the south exactly the same way, if we move 6 months around our orbit, so 186 million miles away, you're still not going to see the difference. You would not be able to measure it other than at 90.000 degrees above and below.
And that's absolutely true. And I try to explain that anyways. It's like you wouldn't be able to see it, and the deviation is worse. The Earth's deviation from that line between the pole stars is worse than the sun's deviation from the Earth by a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm saying already you can't see it. So
yeah, which is why it was so wonderful showing that. Let me just. Oh, what's happened here? I just want to call up that parallax thing again. It's wonderful. This parallax image of Proxima Centauri, because that was taken with a baseline. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I couldn't really hear the stream because I was.
Can you see it now in the Discord, Jack?
Yeah, I can see it. It's moving.
Yeah, and that's the nearest star using a baseline of 4 billion miles.
Mm-hmm.
So the pole star is 100 times further away, and we're looking at it with a baseline 1/43rd of the baseline used to produce this. So it ain't going to move.
My question is, what did he actually answer to when you showed him this particular evidence?
Sorry, say that again. I just got distracted because Jazla is actually in the side chat. He's just said you can change the space-time of your rhubarb. I'm not good. Yeah. What was your? Has he answered
what? Just being funny.
Yeah. Has he answered what, Jack?
What did he say when you presented this to him?
Excuse me. I don't think that we really got an answer on that. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to be mean because, as I said, he's a nice guy. I have no issues at all. So, but I have to say that I don't think that we got a rebuttal for that, because we was talking about this 30 degrees off the pole, walking over the pole, 30 degrees the other side, to which I don't understand what he thinks the problem. I really don't.
Well,
he literally thinks that he literally thinks that the Earth rotates around the line between the pole stars, and so if If the Earth were literally rotating there, the sun would have to go around, would have to orbit the poles, this line between the pole stars. What he's got is priorities backwards. The pole stars just happen to be what the axis of rotation of the Earth is pointing at. And I've explained to him, I said the axis of rotation moves with the Earth as it goes around the thing, it goes around the sun. Well, even some of the other flurfers who popped in to support him can't figure out how the poles could move along with the Earth, and I can't figure out how they wouldn't. Everything in the Earth moves with the rest of the Earth.
The only thing I can think of is if you scaled it down, if you, I mean, it still would be grossly out of scale. But if you had a camera on a little rotating, motorized, pointing at the ceiling with a light or something, so it's pointing exactly at it, rotate it, then move it 1 millimeter to the right. That would still be grossly greater movement, but it's still going to look as though that light is rotating in the same direction without having moved a jot. And of course, the pole star does change over time. It wasn't always Polaris, and nor will it always be Polaris. But I didn't want to go
right,
there.
And he's not even talking about Polaris. He's been focused on Sigma Octantis. I can never say that word.
No, nor can I.
The Australian pole star.
But that's close to the southern
He's been
point of stellar
focused on
rotation.
that one, and that's further.
I was just saying that's close to the
Cell
southern
hell
stellar
again.
point of rotation. It's not exactly on it. Well, North Polaris.
Well,
It's further off than Polaris is, and he doesn't seem to gather that. But there's a bunch of pieces he doesn't seem to much gather.
Yeah.
see, if we
There's-
take
and one of the things, one of the videos.
yeah, go on, whatever.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I'll do it later.
Did you?
Go on, one of you.
Shoot!
Come on, ICQ, come on.
I keep lagging really badly.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you're talking, we can hear you fine, I see.
Okay. So one of the things I noticed on the first video of his I was looking at, which is about 2 days ago, he showed a circle with lines coming from the center out to the surface of the circle, or
Yep.
out towards the circumference, and then they all turn and head up the page, which he claims is towards the south, towards the
pole.
start. The fact is, his drawing is reasonable. That drawing is reasonable. What's unreasonable is he says when you walk along out to the 30th parallel, you have to rotate the 30th parallel as though it were straight up, because that's where your head is pointed. Well, the thing is what he's really doing is rotating his model of the Earth from south to north, and he's wondering why the angles are all wicked and wrong. We would all be wondering that if it actually happened. The Earth doesn't rotate at the equator. The equator rotates around the axis.
Yes.
Cannot get this guy to understand this.
Yeah, because we were obviously talking about this whole business of two cameras, both pointing.
On the roundabout.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they're going to have a slightly different view, but if they were on opposite sides of the roundabout, but both pointing upwards, the bases of the camera pointing towards each other, when it's at half a rotation, they'll each be filming exactly what the other was half a rotation ago. And they're both rotating the same way. I mean, I really, really do not wish to be rude, but as he had said earlier on to me, this really isn't rocket science, and it isn't. It's not brain surgery either.
By the way,
when I heard that comment, I laughed. Here's what I'm thinking. Well, it is rocket science. It's astronavigation, but it's really simple stuff.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Sorry, Jack, you were just about to ask me something.
Yes, I'm going to DM you a thing, and the reason I'm going to DM you a thing is because I've actually watched a Russian-speaking man. You probably wouldn't be able to understand jack shit he's saying, but he is a space guy that makes videos about space, and he obviously learned about flat earthers on the Russian side of YouTube, and he did an experiment. What he did is bought a globe. He made a hole right through one pole to another, and then he stuck a GoPro on top of it, pointing at the ceiling. He spun the globe on the axis, showing how it like records an X on the ceiling made out of duct tape, and how it spins around.
Yep.
And then he took the GoPro and put it on the other side, and then he did the same thing but with the floor, showing that the globe is the same, that the spin is the same, but the kind of hemispheres show completely other things. And that experiment is really interesting because I'm pretty sure you could use that.
Well, I've just dropped the link into the chat. Yeah, I mean, it's two stellar points of rotation. When I had my debate with Mitch on Fight the Flat Earth, and I brought that up as what I regard as a slam dunk evidence that not that it's a globe, but it's slam dunk evidence that it sure as hell is not flat. It took 15 minutes of badgering him before he finally said, "I'm sorry, I don't have an explanation for that." And quite right. At least he didn't just say nuh-uh or lie. He finally admitted he couldn't explain it, which is an honest position to take. But that's a bit problematical for a flat Earth. Now, I know that Jazla is not saying he's flat Earth, so it's a little different. But yeah, I don't... I mean, who was the other guy? I did someone else recently. Flatzoid FE did a video showing stars rotating in opposite direction, except it wasn't what you're talking about, rotating one way looking up, apparently rotating the other way looking down. He showed a video which showed star trails being formed. Some were going one direction, some were going the other, looking at any way you went. What he didn't seem to realise was the video was specially edited to show, it was showing it forward and reverse at the same time. He was caught out with that big time, and looked rather silly. I did a spinny chair experiment, doing exactly what you're talking about, Jack. On this chair, out in the garden, and
I love it.
You seen it?
I think I did.
Yeah. So I've got a camera. I point it forward, spin around, showing everything going from left to right, pointing it upwards, showing everything rotating one direction, pointing downwards, everything apparently is pointing the other direction. Boom. That's exactly the situation we are with the stars over the Earth. Over, under, and around the Earth.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. It's not a difficult concept. I mean, I can understand if you've never come across that. If someone said, well, look, if you look at the pole at the south, the stars rotate one direction, the pole north it rotates the other. You think, well, why is that? And until you sort of think about, oh yeah, because you're looking in different directions, so the same rotation appears different. That's all it is.
It's the conclusion that came when I was listening to this guy. I didn't really listen to anything that you guys your exchange before I jumped in. Even while being drunk on 2 liters of beer plus, nothing he said made sense to me. Like photons traveling through the Earth, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it's flat.
I really
There's
don't know
the core. What?
I mean, Jazla, photon. I know you're still there in the side chat. Jazla, photons are light. That's why we get shadows, because they can't pass through things. There are other particles like neutrons that do pass through things. So I do honestly wonder if you just made an error and you actually mean neutrons or something like that. Because, I mean, X-rays can pass through your body, but your bones block most of them. Similar sort of thing.
Also different types of X-ray radiation. But aside of, like, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture from what the person is saying. Like, okay, he says a lot of this stuff about photons traveling and stuff and whatever, and flat Earth. Okay. You need to look back a little bit and cross-reference it. Okay, so this person doesn't really sound like a Poe.
No.
It kind of sounds like he's genuine.
Yeah, I think he is.
He tries to formulate an argument. He doesn't jump topics. He doesn't move the goalposts. He doesn't, and the biggest thing is that he doesn't really reiterate the same talking points that other people, like, I don't know, Nathan Thompson regurgitate, or Nathan Oakley, or Eric Dubay. Today, I haven't heard any of those, and I was quite amused because usually they bring up a lot of those things. Oh, the water is always flat. And I'm like, oh, God, no, not one of those again. Oh, the what they usually say. I'm kind of a little bit.
Water finds its own level.
What else?
Loads of things. Yeah, Jazla brought an entirely different set of things to the table.
Yeah,
we'll give him that.
He had a very vastly different perspective from a lot of things, and it felt genuine. I was quite amused by that.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Not kind of like, oh, this person's dumb. No.
No.
Kind of in a, wow, I haven't heard that one before, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah. Especially the part with the protractor, because a flat earther whipping out a protractor and trying to make an example with a protractor, that's just completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
I was talking to him, and he kept referring to the dot. That there's a dot, and like that. And at some point, I realized he's not a flat earther; he's a dot earther. And I personally have never heard of a dot earther before. He kept saying that the Earth was just a dot, and that I'm not dead sure what he meant by it, but I do like out of box thinking. So at least he's bringing something fresh.
That is a scale thing, isn't it? We are very close to that dot, so it looks bloody big. But we've seen the Voyager picture of the little blue dot. It was just a dot on a ray of light, and you go further away. Of course, that dot gets too small to see. That's just scale.
Yeah,
and the universe is big. It's
if
mind-bogglingly big. I mean, you might think it's a long way down the road to the chemist, but that's just peanuts compared to space.
Yeah.
Thanks, Douglas. Sorry, Jack?
It's all a matter of perspective.
That's true. It is. It's how you look at it, and when you know what his fishing line thing wasn't as bad as all that. If he only realized that the perspective was distorted, it wouldn't be so bad. It still wouldn't be right, but it wouldn't be so bad. It'd be easier to talk to him about it.
Well, with his fishing line thing, you got the Polaris on the ceiling and the southern point on the floor with your fishing line down. The Earth halfway up, let's say it's halfway between the two, is so small it would be within the very middle of that fishing line. You couldn't see it.
Within the filament.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact,
and so would the sun.
So small. Oh, sorry.
I was saying, and so would the sun on that scale.
Yeah, the sun and at least most, if not all, of the solar system would be inside of 2-pound test filament.
And in fact, if you then took your thumb and forefinger on that line and rolled it between your thumb and forefinger, your sun and Earth, your Earth is rotating around your sun within that point. But it would be smaller than that. At that sort of scale, your filament would be so fine you wouldn't see it.
Exactly, and I have tried to tell him that. He made his little styrofoam balls much too large, and of course that basketball or whatever, that ball he was using to represent the sun would have had to been, in order for it to be there, the distortion it would have to be about 300 light years from Earth.
Yes.
And we all know that's ridiculous.
Have you ever seen that video where a guy tried to make the solar system to scale out in the desert? It's absolutely fabulous. He had a model of the sun. I've got a feeling it was about 2 foot across, and then he drove out and put the locations of all the planets on poles with lights out to the outermost outer giants and Pluto and wherever. And he ended up, I forget exactly what. So I think if the sun was about 2 foot across, the outer planets were about 7, 8 miles away, something like that. It was just incredible. Wow. It was only then when you saw that and you think, it is bloody big, isn't it? I mean, I probably got those figures wrong, but it's something of that order. It's worth
I know what you mean. I don't know if you've been to America, and in Los Angeles we had the Griffith Observatory. They have a Foucault pendulum just inside the entranceway.
Cool.
From the center there, huh?
I said that's cool.
It is, and then from the center there, they take that as though that were the sun. They start working out where the planets are, and they go way out towards the parking lot.
Yes.
They have circles on the ground, and say this is the orbit of Saturn, this is the orbit of Jupiter, this is, I think they took Pluto off on the last remodel because, Pluto's
Well, I found a
not
video.
been disqualified.
I found a video. I just dropped into chat. It's called "Watch This Guy Build a Massive Solar System in the Desert" by National Geographic. It's absolutely fantastic video, and it gives you an idea of the scale. Actually, Jazla, if you're still in there, watch it. Okay, you see his decent sized sun, but then see how far away and the size of the Earth compared to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar. I think I might have already seen this once before, but I'd like to see it again.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's a few years old. Well, actually, yeah, 2017 that video went up. I don't know how old or how long before that it was actually filmed.
Okay. What the most interesting thing that kind of interested me when Jazza was talking to us, the part that he said that he wants to become an AI, a computer.
Yes.
That was kind of interesting because he cross-referenced being a person to being a computer, which is not really kind of like it is, Jazza, because you're still listening, I know. And
yeah, he's there.
computers are but a reflection of our true potential. They are merely mimicking us, and they are so far beyond us. It will take them at least, I don't know, 150 years at least of progress to at least come close to a real human thought, an actual, like, considering what they are. Am I real? Am I alive? Kind of that kind of stuff. So don't compare yourself to a computer. That's different. Computers are merely mimicking what we are. And like when you said that you have a monitor, like a video card to see things, no, it's entirely different. You have it in reverse, bro.
But it is an interesting thought because, of course, will there come a time where we could literally upload our consciousness into computers
I
as
believe
immortality? It may be possible.
When quantum computers will become mainstream, and when quantum computer, because I personally looked into this as computer engineer and programmer, a novice computer programmer. I learned what the three system is, the quantum computing system, when you have a 0 and a 1 and the kind of in between state. That's the most fascinating thing.
Binary computer, yeah.
Whenever this three state system becomes live, it's when people will be able to write a proper software for these kind of computers, because these kind of computers already exist. It's just that they don't really operate.
Well, there's qubits, isn't there? Quantum bits, qubits.
Yes, qubits.
And they made a computer with so many qubits. I think the real problem comes, let's say they build this machine, okay? It's got enough memory, it's got enough processing power. Excellent. And there's a physical technique to scan your consciousness and move you over into that computer, okay? Would you want it? Because it's still a physical object. Now, it might well be solid state, but even solid state drives wear out.
I believe the more complex issue with that kind of thinking is it goes even deeper, because when you copy yourself, is the copy actually you, or the person that's left behind is you? And whenever the you dies, is that copy that's going to live on? Is it going to be actually you? If it's kind of complicated to explain.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's I mentioned this book before called Eon. By Greg Bear, and they have this concept of partials. You can have it basically. It'd be a projected image of a person, and it's got their partial personality. You could assign your partial a task, like go there to that meeting, and it would report back to you, because everyone had little things in the back of their necks which would download their consciousness. And so if you died, you could be reborn. At least I think you're entitled to 2 lives. But they had this concept of partials. And in this book, there came a point where an environment was going to be destroyed, and this guy sent his partial to go and watch it. As far as the partial was concerned, he was the person. Okay, he knew he was a partial, but he was the person. He was going to experience death, and that was exciting. But he wasn't scared because he knew the real him was going to live on. But of course, the real him still would not have experienced death. Only his partial would, has had previous partials. It's an interesting thing. Eon by Greg Bear. Highly, highly recommend it. Good hard science novel with some interesting ideas.
I love these interesting ideas. It's a little like Star Trek when you get in the transporter and you're dematerialized and you end up someplace else. Is that really you, or is that a photocopy?
Yeah. Is the actual matter that's destroyed during the teleportation?
Yeah.
Is it when it's being reassembled? Is it you, or is it just a copy, a duplicate?
I mean, I can't imagine the technology actually involved, but if you could physically remake your body and every molecule in your body, what about your consciousness? I read another book by Clifford Simak called Way Station. It's an old sci-fi book, and this guy is on Earth, and basically his lifespan is greatly extended while he lives within his property, and he's a way station for travellers around the galaxy. And what would happen is the machine would in effect materialise a person from materials, chemicals and whatever, and they'd spend an evening with him, and then they'd be retransmitted on to the next way station. Interesting way of travelling. Basically, beam me up, Scotty, but from planet to planet to planet. But each time someone was beamed on, they just became a pile of chemicals. Basically, they were created, they were the real person, but then destroyed, and they're just a pool of chemicals again. Brilliant book.
Interesting.
Way Station by Clifford D. Simak. Anyway, listen, guys. It's now 1 minute past midnight. I've had a great time.
Now I know your time.
Yes.
Time offset. It's only 4 here.
Yep.
Oh, no.
GMT. Got real time here. Real, honest to goodness British time.
Oh, good old British time.
Listen, thank you, ICQ, for jumping in. I appreciate that. And Jack, you've been a trooper tonight. It's been great having you back. I'm looking forward to you doing more stuff whenever is convenient for you.
I promise that.
Good.
That journalism video is definitely going to come out.
Excellent. And I can see Jazla's still in the chat. He says he's done videos debunking Flat Earth. Well, good on you, Jazla. Once again, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on here. It was very interesting. A little frustrating, but very interesting. And as I said several times, you were a great guest. Appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to wind this up now. So what I'll do is I'll chuck you both back into the live waiting room, and I'll join you in a minute, okay?
See.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sensible, for having me on.
My pleasure, ICQ. I'll just chuck you back in it, and I'll come and have a quick word in a couple of minutes. Cheers. So that was ICQ. Thank you, and adios to you too, Jack, and Clapperjack. I will update and put a link to Jazla's channel in the description, and actually I should add Clapperjack's as well, so I will do that. Everyone, it's been a great night. I will just have a double check, not because I'm expecting anything, but because I don't want to miss anything, just in case any super chats have. Oh, just as well checked. Mark Wagner, thank you very much, Mark. Super chat $5 US, saying always the best live streams here. Thank you, Mark. Very, very much appreciated. I hope you've all... that chat's literally just come on the screen here. I really, really appreciate you all. My members, subscribers, patrons, all of you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Not sure what's going to be next. Maybe the moon, dear moon crew. I shall wait and hear on that. So I'm going to say thank you very much. Take care and stay sensible.